Hey folks, welcome to Games We Never Play. I'm your host, Jameson GM Mace. We're going to be playing Shades of Gotham in the Tiny Supers system. So make sure you check that out from the Gallantverse. Really great game. Let's go around the table. Let's meet everyone else who's playing. Starting to my left with Nikki. Go ahead and introduce yourself and what character you're playing today.
I'm playing Lynn, the escaped demon from hell who just wants to be free and enjoy herself, even if that means murdering people.
Isn't that always what it is?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty relatable, I feel like. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joey, who are you?
Hey guys, I'm Joey, and I am playing Dodger, the, let's just say he wants to eat the rich. Maybe not actually
Literally.
eat, but, I mean, the night is young. Let's see where the night takes us. Yeah, he's a acrobat, pickpocket, and fan of destroying the proletariat.
Of course. That makes total sense. All right.
I don't think he wants to destroy the proletariat. He wants to destroy the bourgeois.
That's what I meant.
Right?
Caffeine hasn't kicked in yet, so we're getting a lot of weird words coming at you real quick.
Also, I do like that you clarified that he does not probably actually want to commit cannibalism, since our first character was a escaped demon from hell. It might be nice to tone set a little bit that was more metaphorically eat the rich.
Yes, for now.
I am playing Eddie Sislak, called Manticore on the streets, who is a young kid who is out of the CPS system and trying to make a life for himself and get some money so he can get his sister out as well.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh, and he's also slowly being turned into an alien technological cyborg.
Oh, that little thing.
You know,
that little pesky thing.
Yeah, it's
That old chestnut.
yeah, it's the very last line of his Tinder bio. So far, it's not working out great.
I feel like you should lead with that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And last but not least, sorry, are you done, Manticore?
Yeah, I am done.
Sorry. And then last, maybe least, I'm Michael Holmes, and I'm going to be playing James Choi Weber, also known as RX. He is a disgraced chemist who is trying to get revenge on the pharmaceutical company that fired him rather unceremoniously, fund some research of his own, and try to regain the respect of his family, which was lost when he got the boot. He looks like a combination of Ryan Gosling in Drive and Joseph Gordon-Levitt in Inception, but, half Korean.
As you
Nice.
do.
And then I guarantee there's going to be cat interference here in like just a minute or two. So
Oh, I can't wait to see the kitty.
Baby.
Oh, what a sweetie.
See, something for everyone in chat.
Oh.
I am checking one quick thing because I'm running into a weird problem. I want to make sure we're actually live. It actually did the transition, so let's check. Oh, good. A trailer. This is what I get for not being a Prime member and subscribing. I could skip all these commercials. But yeah. Okay. 3, 2, and... Come on, system. Okay, great. That is working. Wonderful.
I see we're live on the site.
Okay.
Me too.
Live, yes. I wasn't sure if it made the transition over because it's OBS and I've done a few fiddly things with it, so sometimes it bites me in the butt. That's all right. So, again, we are playing Shades of Gotham, inspired by the Harley Quinn TV show on HBO. Go watch that if you haven't. It's really good. So, yes, we're not officially affiliated with DC in any way. We're just going to have some fun in their world, and hopefully their lawyers are kind to us. Please, lawyer overlords, be nice.
I'm trying to cover up the DC logo on the background I've chosen.
It's all right. I already cut it out for you, buddy.
Oh, thanks. You're a champ.
No problem. Removing those watermarks. Somebody worked real hard on that. So, everyone has their characters. You can interact, of course, by talking to us in chat. I always like to go to chat for ideas and bring things at the crew. So if you feel like, hey, let's throw something crazy at them, throw it in chat, and I'll take a look and see what we can do. Yeah, no, that's the faces I want. Yes, terror. Delicious terror. All right. So we open on Gotham streets. It is, of course, wet. Everything in Gotham is wet and hot at the same time. It's the middle of summer. It's uncomfortable for everyone around. The four of you have found yourself in a small room lavished with a patchwork couch of some kind, a sofa, or one of those bark loungers that's all beat up and stained. You're not sure from where. A single table and 2 or 3 chairs. One of the chairs is empty. What are the rest of you doing?
I think that Manticore is pacing back and forth, not sitting still in any one place very long. It's like he'll take a seat in one of the empty places and then 2 minutes later spring back up and walk around, glancing anxiously at the door and into the faces of his compatriots.
I think Dodger is going to take a seat in the Barker Lounger and get all comfy. He's got nothing to worry about. He's not worried. Put his feet up if it's an option, and pull out a shiny apple that he has in his trench coat pocket. Just carve out a piece with one of his stiletto daggers and wait for whoever we're waiting on.
Okay.
I think RX is sitting at the table. He has a red surgical mask that he wears and a pair of white goggles with red lenses that are up on the top of his forehead. And he has a moleskin notebook that he's got open on the table and one of those really delicate fine point mechanical pens. And he's scribbling just furiously. And you don't know what he's writing.
I think Lynn would be also sitting at the table, but looking extremely bored, potentially smoking, yawning occasionally. Yeah, just the usual.
How does Lynn look?
Sorry?
How does Lynn look?
Oh, she has like a black pixie cut and a suit with what would be like suspenders as well, and probably a coat, which she keeps her gun and her dagger.
Okay. And Nick, you had said something?
Oh, I was going to jump into roleplay, but if we're doing descriptions, I should say for a moment that Eddie / Manticore is a white kid, late teens, early 20s, of Jewish Polish extraction, dark hair, dark eyes, and seemingly filled with nervous energy at the moment. He also is he's shirtless, but the left side of his chest and arm, and probably down into his leg, it looks like, is instead of regular human flesh, it's kind of a techno-organic circuitry that looks relatively smooth, but has sort of runneled carved bits into it. So it does look like a technological artifact if you look closely.
Okay. So as you all sit there patiently, there comes a knock at the door. This building itself is, for the most part, condemned, but families still live here. It's a rundown apartment building, and you just happen to have one of the rooms here. The door rattles as if about to fall off its hinges.
I rush over and open it. It's about time.
You are greeted with the back of someone. They are walking away from you, and at your feet is a rectangular box sitting on the floor.
Hey, what? Hey, what is this? Hey, mister.
Looking him over, you can definitely tell, you see UPS markings on his jacket and everything. He's just thrown it against the door and ran. Do you chase him down or do you leave it?
I'll pick up the box and look at it.
Okay. It's kind of weighty. It's Feels like it weighs about 5-6 pounds. Very heavy.
Is it addressed to anyone?
It's addressed to you.
Is it addressed to Eddie?
It's addressed to Manticore.
Okay, to Manticore. Hey, I'll turn around and come back into the room. I thought we were... Some guy just dropped this off.
Have you opened it yet?
No? Should I?
Probably.
No, let's keep it closed and keep the mystery.
Whatever.
Hold on a moment. He puts his glasses down. He goes behind the Barco Lounger. Kind of puts his hands over his head. Now you can open the box.
Yeah, great.
Lights another cigarette.
No subtlety. I just jam my fingers through the packing tape and then pop the top of the box open.
You pop it open and you see it's a laptop. It's bubble wrapped. It doesn't look like it's fresh or new or anything.
It's. Did someone order a laptop? Look, my birthday's not till November. Did anyone? And I'll pry it out and unwrap it from the bubble wrap.
On the top of it, as a sticker, it says "Open me." With a red A with a circle around it.
I sit down at the table and I pop it open.
You pop it open. It goes through a boot sequence before it loads into an operating system that you're not familiar with. It looks like it's someone, possibly Linux. They've written their own code. The same A from on the sticker appears on the screen before popping into resolution a face. You know this as Anarch. He is the one that has come to each and every one of you for your own private reasons and has pulled you together.
Is it a video or is it just an image?
I don't know. What do? Do you check, see if it's moving or?
Well, I mean, I'm looking at it.
You can tell it's
breathing. Is it moving?
It is breathing. It is moving. It's wearing
a
a white mask with a black hood. So it is very hard to tell if there's a lot of motion except for the gentle head sway.
Hey, I thought you were gonna... Guys, it's Anarch. And I'll turn the computer around.
Good. Glad to see you all made it alive.
Of course.
Well, I wasn't worried about you getting here alive. I was just worried about each of you killing each other.
The night is young.
Perhaps, if I feel like it later.
I'd like to put it on record that I have no interest in killing anyone right in this room.
I kind of laugh nervously.
You know, that can always change, right?
Collects his notebook, puts the pen back, puts it in a pocket. Look surly.
Good. Now that we've got our game faces on, I have something that I need you all to do. I'm forming a band, and of course, you all are in it. But the problem is, we need things before we can really get this party started. I'm going to be on the other side of town causing chaos. There's a warehouse I need you to liberate from its current owners. Do you think you can handle that? And at the same time, a screen pops up showing blueprints of a building by the docks.
Oh, sure. Looks easy.
It's about 2 stories. It's hard to tell what's inside. It looks like it's been renovated several times, so it's mainly a bare bones structure from the blueprints.
These former or soon-to-be former owners have a name?
Yes. Falcone.
As much as I despise taking orders, it seems simple enough.
Wait, back up just a moment. You said Falcone?
Do you have a problem with that?
Does nobody read the newspaper anymore? I mean, the Falcone family is...
What's that?
They are legitimate businessmen who don't take kindly to people just waltzing into their properties if, media is to be believed. And I, for one, happen to believe this aspect. And Anarch, I appreciate the opportunity. Don't get me wrong, but this seems a bit much for a first outing.
Hey! If they're just businessmen, we don't have anything to worry about. Be a pushover, right?
They're not businessmen. They're gangsters.
What's the matter, Doc? Turn up the stones?
Wait, what?
Don't read the news much, as said, eh?
Look, I'm just not interested in getting killed on my first time.
Are you scared?
No.
Really? Seems like you're scared.
Come on, do you really think that those thugs could do anything to us?
Well, maybe not me.
What you're doing is making a statement that you're not afraid to get your hands dirty, James. Did I approach the wrong person for this job?
No. I'll do what's needed when the time comes.
How you all go about this is entirely up to you. I'll be causing havoc on the other side of Gotham and keeping the Bat busy. You four figure out how you want to approach this.
Is there anything in particular that you want, or just make sure that the building is no longer viable?
No. We're taking the building. We're taking turf. We're muscling in on Falcone's area.
What if he sends plenty of backup?
Well, send them back up where they came.
Or down where they came.
Dealer's choice, he says, gesturing broadly. Now, is there anything you need from me? Good.
No.
What is that, Lynn?
Not particularly.
Appreciated. You can wait for my signal. You'll know it when you hear it. Bye. And it flicks off, becomes just a normal working laptop you guys can use for whatever you so choose.
Happy birthday, Manticore.
Sorry, Nikki, I'm stepping over you. Go ahead.
I said, well, happy birthday, Manticore. You got yourself a laptop.
Cool.
Let me see that. And is the blueprint for Falcone's warehouse still up?
It is.
Okay. So on my character sheet, I've got a skill that says, hold on, please. Thank you. That I'm educated. I have advantage on trying to see if I know specific information. Would you say it would be appropriate to roll for that?
I'd say so.
Okay.
So first off, let's find out what information are you looking for, and then we'll figure out how we gonna go about it.
I'm interested in how we can most effectively and quietly cut the power to the building.
Okay. I'll say that's definitely something you would know.
Okay.
And presumably in a way that we can restore it.
Yes, exactly. Temporarily. We just have candles.
Restoration's overrated.
Because I can cut the power.
Okay. I'm going to roll 3d6.
Yep, 3d6. 5s and 6 are success.
Well, the first one's not. Nor is the second one. Nor is the third. God, this thing is illegible.
No.
And then I slammed the laptop down and then put a hand to Manticore. Sorry.
Hey.
That was his birthday gift.
It's not broken. Here, someone else take a look.
Then shrugs and kind of walks over to the couch and sits down.
Is there a general knowledge roll or anything like that to see what we might know about the Falcone family?
Yeah, absolutely. You can just, since this is a rules light system, you can do almost anything you want. You just say, I'd like to do this, and I'll tell you whether it's just a normal roll, if you have a disadvantage on it, or if you're like, oh, from your background, you probably would know more or have some sort of skill that would give you that bonus anyways.
Beautiful. I would like to see what I know about the Falcone family, please.
All right. Roll 2d6, and on 5s and 6s, it's a success. You only need one success to win.
What do I get for double 3s?
You get nothing.
Curses.
But that's a 6.
That's a
You said
6,
five
though.
and a
Add it up
six.
to a 6, right? That's how it works.
Nothing, Lebowski.
I did what you asked. I got a 6.
You got it dirty way. Sorry.
He got 6 the hard way.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Listen, guys, you're making this too complicated. They're just a bunch of guys with guns. Who cares? Like, that's a threat to any of us? I'll just walk in, start throwing them around, and you guys can just do what you do. You do somersault in, or go all hour buff, or shoot people.
Somersault.
Backflip. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Cartwheel.
Yes, I almost was able to join the Olympic gymnastics team on a somersault.
So what's the problem?
Well, listen, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I feel like Manticore does have the best idea that we just sort of go in guns blazing, as it were.
I would expect that.
I nod enthusiastically.
Immortals are okay with that. It's fine by me.
All right. So you all just want to brute force it. Okay. Wonderful.
Well, we could flank them at least.
Do the blueprints have any information on any kind of locks or security?
Looking over the blueprints, you unfortunately do not see anything about locks or security. It does show you that there are 4 main entrances. The north and south ones are huge double doors, like we're talking 20 feet high. And there's, of course, a giant skylight over the top.
Okay.
Why don't we just each take a different direction?
Okay.
If I go in the front door, I think Dodger won't mind somersaulting through the skylight.
You get one more of those because it's almost their birthday. But yeah, I'll easily take the skylight.
And then do you two want to take the sides? We'll do like a whole pincer movement.
Sure. That sounds exhilarating.
Sounds acceptable to me.
Well,
Okay.
who knows? The plans could all change if we get there.
Indeed.
Right. So how are you going to keep in contact with one another?
WhatsApp.
Dope. Sounds good. WhatsApp it is.
The TikTok.
What is this contact you talk about?
So I'm going to do something a little different than the main rules. I'm stealing liberally from Blaze in the Dark. So I'm going to allow you to use stress as your character. You can take 1 point of stress to change something. Like, oh no, I actually have walkie-talkies here. I did bring my grappling hook. And you can have a flashback and tell us how that happened or how you prepared for it.
How would that work when I have regeneration?
Hmm?
I have regeneration, so...
Game breakingly, yes.
Yes.
Jameson, I'm taking regeneration here. Hold on.
Well, this you're not going to be able to. I'm going to make this a hard cap for you. So yes, you can regenerate, but once you spend one, it goes from 5 to 4,
Okay.
and that's the most you can regenerate up to. Then you spend another, it goes from 4 to
the
3,
scene or whatever.
and then
Quick
once the scene
question,
is everything over.
Is your regeneration slow or is it fast? Like, is it once a day or is it?
Every round I regenerate 1 stress.
Oh,
Wow.
Hence why I'm not very concerned with being injured.
So we found the tank. Good. Good.
Mhm,
Wait,
mhm.
what?
What? You're going to just regenerate. Doesn't matter. You're good.
Very well. I'll take the front entrance then.
Okay.
I'll step inside. Trust me, I'm not going to let you down.
Oh, I trust you. It's super convincing.
well then, come on, let's go. The sooner we move on them, the less time they're going to have to expect anything. And if we get in position, then we'll be ready when the signal happens, right? right? And I look around to everybody.
You're always so nervous. You should calm down. It'll be fine.
I'm not nervous. Who's nervous?
Have a drink.
Indeed, enjoy yourself a little bit. You only live so long, and then you're who knows where.
Look, if we get in there and make a good impression, then we're gonna keep getting more jobs and make money. That's why we're all here, right?
Fine. Let's head out now. Are you happy?
I'm just trying to be professional.
And on that, you all leave the building off to your destination, and we roll back several weeks. Now, each of you have had an encounter with the other person. This is why you have this rapport and trust with one another. So let's go around the table, and we're going to kind of round robin this. I'm going to start with Nick. Nick can pick one other person at the table, and I want you guys to come up with a flashback or an adventure or something that you have gone through together in the past. So, and then once Nick picks that somebody then will pick someone else, and we'll go around until everyone has somebody that they're connected to. Cool?
Okay.
Cool. So, Nick, starting with you, please kick us off.
Joey, I think that Manticore and Dodger are similar in age. I think Dodger's a little older. But I think that maybe, I don't want to say like hero worship, but I think that there is some like Big Brother ism that's going on from Eddie's point of view.
Okay, I dig that.
And that Dodger seems sophisticated and social in a way that Eddie isn't. So I'm kind of thinking the way that I have the backstory is that I ran away from the orphanage and was kind of living on the streets and committing petty theft and petty crime, working a little bit with, so like a local gang. How do you think that would put our paths across each other, if it would?
Yeah, I think possibly we had the same mark. Okay. And I think I let you steal it, whatever we were pickpocketing. And then I approached you and was kind of giving you some pointers because clearly you were a little sloppy, and then pilfered what you stole from them off you.
If I can make a brief addendum, I don't think that Manticore would have been pickpocketing, but maybe I mugged him.
Yeah,
like you were moving in for the swoop, and that's when I grabbed him by the back of the the jacket and put him up against a wall and said, "Your money or your life."
Okay, I do. I like that. That's very, very good. So yeah, I think you absolutely mugged him and probably did some physical harm to him, because that is how a mugger do. Yeah, I think
how the mugger do.
I think Dodger kind of definitely compliments you on your abilities, but also kind of pointed out, if you had just taken what you wanted without him noticing, there'd be no witnesses. There'd be no one there's no body, the less evidence, the better. And I think he...
Can I?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
No, please.
How about I did this in front or like just down the street from like one of the only straight cops, and so as the sirens are going off and I'm running off with the wallet, you're keeping track. I'm eventually able to lose them, and then you step out of the shadows and explain, "Hey, there's a better way. If you just lift, if you just do this, you don't need to worry about the one, good guy with a gun."
I love that. I very much love that. It actually goes very, very well with my character's MO and character concept of bottling yourself after the Artful Dodger. You're basically my Oliver, is what you like. You are 100% that moment.
All right.
So yeah, he definitely took you under his wing and is kind of showing you how to survive on the streets. And also he gets a little added protection, a little added muscle that he really doesn't have. He's very, very spindly and quick, but not so good at if he gets caught.
Right.
I love that.
Okay.
I think that's a good little intro.
Nice. All right, Joey, who do you have an adventure with?
I think that's a good question. I'm trying to think. Give me a moment.
Mm-hmm.
How does Lynn hold her? I mean, she kind of seems like a bit haughty. Is she and well dressed?
Yeah.
Does she look like someone that would? That's going to be too similar to my thing with Nick. But I do like the idea of it being Lynn.
Okay.
Because I feel we have a very similar personality type, and I think that could be something. Yeah, but I'm trying to think what that
You
was.
could have also tried to rob me, and I just like stuck my gun to your head and was like, "Excuse me, what are you doing?"
That was kind of my thought, but I was afraid it might be too close to my thing with Nick. But I like that because he doesn't get caught very often, and so that was definitely impressive.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Could there have been a superhero attack at that time or a super villain attack, I guess? Be better suited.
That could happen. That would be good. Or like it could have been like in a nightclub or a bar or something. Like it's really crowded and there was like people were running and you tried to like steal from me, and then I was like, okay, well let's get out of here, and I helped you escape or something like that.
Yeah, I like that.
It's a little bit similar, but still different.
Same, but different.
Yeah.
No, I like that. I think I definitely tried to get something off of you, and you caught me. And before you were able to reprimand me, we had to escape because one of the bigger villains decided to make it their business to fuck shit up, and we decided not to be a part of that.
There you go.
All right, Nikki. You have a history, a story with Michael's character. What would that have been?
What kind of crimes has your RX done so far?
Breaking and entering mostly.
What types of buildings or places?
Laboratories, medical equipment, that kind of thing. He did try to get in a little bit of a toe-to-toe with a very small group of the Joker's boys at one point.
Okay. Maybe when you were like, fighting the Joker's goons or whatever, I actually was taking a job that someone had, maybe it was Anarch, who had contracted me to protect you. So I showed up and started just killing them, basically, which explains why my character is a little bit like she is, I guess. So I'm kind of waiting to see you prove yourself a little bit more, I guess. So
I like that. I like that a lot.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay, and now last but definitely not least, Eddie and James, Michael and Nick, what is your guys' connection? What's your story?
I landed and crushed a dumpster that Manticore was standing next to. After experimenting with some new enhancements that did make me temporarily invulnerable, but diminished my agility. So trying to jump from roof to roof did not work so well. Fortunately, the fall was okay. So yeah, I feel like Manticore was just standing there one moment and then
I instantly went on the defensive, like I was about to, I'm under attack.
right.
And there was this guy. Were you super villain kitted out, or are you just like,
I think at that point he might have been wearing the red and white like silk, almost like Letterman jacket that like Ryan Gosling had in Drive. Google it; it's cool. But he didn't yet have like the rest of his kind of ensemble, so it was just like that and blue jeans, and like for a moment you just see this pair of like Chuck Taylors sticking out from the dumpster. It's like and I kind of propelled myself out and dust myself off, and I'm like, I'm okay. Wow, that's quite the thing you got there, man.
I think out on the street like that, it would be like covered up.
Okay.
Like
Then
long sleeves,
what he said.
you know, long sleeves and a glove, probably 2 gloves. The way I described it before was like a dark turtleneck, gloves and jeans, because it hasn't yet on the surface affected his face at all.
And then I partially collapsed.
Hey.
Going against what you were going to say.
Oh, no. I was playing along with it. I was, so I picked him up and like dragged him to some place I thought was safe, because if I leave him here, someone's going to mug him.
And then you won't get to mug him. So yeah, it makes sense. Okay. So we now flash back to the future. So the present, as it were. You all are in your different locations.
Hey, I just have a quick question. Are we going to double back again?
If you want to. Except it's going to be a Western the third time around, so figure that one out. So, each of you are in your different locations. Give me a perception or a lookout check, something to let me know what you see or perceive.
How do we do that, since we don't have, like, perception or lookout stats?
It's just a normal test, unless you have something that would apply to hearing or visuals.
Okay.
Like heightened senses.
Are we proficient, or are we just... Is it a single D6 or 2D6?
2D6 is a normal test. Only 1D6 if you have disadvantage of some kind.
And it's 5s or 6s, right?
5 or 6, yes. On
I
either
got
die.
1 6.
No successes.
None for me.
I got 2 successes.
Okay.
Ooh.
So, Noah, Dodger, since you've got the 1 success, you do see that there are 3 patrols circling this building, each of which has 1 dog. It's definitely an attack dog or a Doberman of some kind. James, RX, you see the same thing, and from now on I'm going to go ahead and just refer to you by your character moniker, RX, Manticore, etc. Except for Lynn, because Lynn is both, like Cher.
Well, she has a true name, but I don't think she shared it with any of you.
Yeah. and an escaped demon from hell, also like Cher.
Just like Cher, yes.
Nick, that's the gay agenda.
Oh.
I knew it. Okay, so RX, you do see those patrols as well. 3 patrols, each of which has a dog. But inside, you see a lot of movement. It looks like they are packaging something big to be shipped. From inside, or looking inside, you see that it's 2 floors. The main open way in the middle takes up a big portion of it, where boxes and crates and what have you are stored. There is a secondary floor that only takes up about 1/3 of the space, and is to the far right, almost as if you could go up some stairs to it. So, with that information, what do you do?
I produced my little auto-injector stinger pistol, and I think I'm gonna aim for one of the patrols and see if I can at least numb one of the guards in that patrol.
Hey, he said to wait.
I'm just weeding out the competition, okay? It's not going to kill him. It's just going to make him go sleepy a little bit.
Are we split up already, or are we still together?
You're still together, and you're about to head off to your different marks.
Okay.
Look, the less of them that are walking around right now, the easier it's going to be for us to get in the building, okay? Trust me on this one.
The doctor has a point.
Seems fair.
What if they notice that one of the patrols hasn't checked back in?
Then we just kill them.
But we haven't seen the signal yet.
Oh, well, you have to wait for the signal for everything.
Hey, there's a plan, right? We're professionals, right?
Very well.
Fine. We can do some bit more reconnaissance. I'm going up to the roof to see what I can see.
Okay. So go ahead and give me a test to see if you can fling your grappling hook, or are you like free running to get up there? Or how
Basically,
do you
hardcore parkour.
parkour?
Yeah, he is total acrobat life. So I do have advantage on acrobatic tests and tricks.
Great. Okay, you're gonna get 3d6,
He's got a somersault to the top.
and that's it. That's 3.
While he's doing that, can I see the top building from where I'm at? Like, it's been visual.
You can see the ledge of it, but you can't see over it. If that makes any sense.
I got 1-5.
That's all you need. So that's 1 success. Go ahead and describe it for me as you're climbing this building.
Yeah, so I'm going to probably use the fire escape. If there isn't one on this building, the fire escape to the adjacent building, and kind of climb and flip my way up there, and then do a running jump from one rooftop to the other to get to the roof of the warehouse.
Okay. Give me a stealth check as you land on the roof.
Okay, of course. I don't have stealth. Why would I need stealth? Unless that qualifies me with nimble fingers, which gives me advantage on picking, lock, stealing, and sleight of hand.
I don't think you're landing on your fingers, so handstand.
He is now.
Oh, I got a 5. Thank goodness. Okay.
Okay, you jump onto the roof, you tuck into the roll, and as you come out of it, you see 2 guards with their backs to you, staring out at the roof, looking in opposite directions. One on the north side, one on the south side. Yes, ma'am.
Can I teleport behind him?
Were you going to follow him? Sure.
Yeah, I wanted to use an action to teleport out of the shadows.
How does your teleport look? Like, is it like a BAMF?
So it's sort of like the Dishonored, like the blink kind of thing, except it's like poof of like darkness. It kind of fades to darkness and fades back. And so it's like shadow step kind of thing.
All right, but it doesn't make any audible noise, right?
No.
Okay.
Just like darkness. So I just appear out of the darkness.
Darkness, no parents. I gotcha. All right, so you do it. Give me a stealth check as you land.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, I got a 5.
Right. Nerve-wracking.
You land next to him. Dodger, you come into a roll. You see the 2 people next to you. Lynn is there. What do you 2 do?
He kind of gives her a look like, I don't need a babysitter, but you're already here. So I gesture to myself and to the one on the north side. I gesture to her, point to the one on the south side.
She nods and pulls out her dagger.
And I'm going to then creep up on my target and, oops, your neck came open. That's weird.
Made a Pez dispenser of them. Nice.
He will simultaneously teleport behind the other guy and just go.
Okay, now are these weapons you're proficient with?
This is my mastery weapon.
Ooh.
It's not my mastery weapon, but I am proficient with it.
Okay. All right, go ahead and give me your attacks. If it's your mastery, I believe it is 3d6. If it is just something you're proficient with, it's only 2d.
Okay.
That is 1-5.
No 6. I have a 4. It's the highest.
Okay, you have a 4. So, Dodger, you managed to open his neck, no problem. It's bad. Lynn, as you go to stab, the guy turns around. Oh, what the hell? And his machine gun goes off.
Oh no!
None of the bullets hit you, but you now know that they are alerted to your presence. What do you all do? Let's start with Nick. What do you do, sir?
Honestly, I think that I freeze.
Good. All right. Frozen.
Yeah.
RX.
Well, now I'm going to. No, I'm not going to start shooting my tranquilizer darts at people. I think that's silly. I'm going to try to run for cover closest to the nearest entrance into the building.
Okay, so you're running straight into the building and then looking for cover once you're inside?
If I can do that without getting caught by anybody outside, yes. Otherwise, I will run to cover, wait for the people to pass, and then continue.
Okay, this is going to be a disadvantage test because everyone is looking around for like, oh no, we're under attack. What's happening? So you can do this, but it's going to be very tricky to get inside.
No, I can't.
But you got like a 30% chance.
No, I mean I rolled and I severely can't.
Oh,
no.
Okay, so you've run out. Manticore, you're still frozen. One of the guards, look, there he is, over there, and he unclips the dog. You hear "Burr, burr, 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 burr," as they begin barking and chasing after you, jumping back up onto the roof. Dodger, you hear the brat from behind you. What do?
Well, a giant sigh of disapproval, and I'm going to throw the dagger that I used to cut the one guy's throat at the other guy. I have a question about this.
Yes.
So ranged weapons, according to the rules, require one action to load and one action to use. How does that work with a weapon that doesn't need to be loaded, like a dagger?
I'm going to say you can go ahead and just use it, but it's normally a draw and then throw.
Perfect.
But since you've already got it in your hand, kind of like having the gun already cocked, you're not going to have to reload it.
Okay, perfect. Then I will throw and then use my other action to pull another dagger out so I'm not unarmed. This is throwing, so it's just proficient. So I missed, and that's fine. I don't know why you're worried about it.
Yeah. So as the machine gun goes off, a dagger comes flying right past you, Len. What do you do as this guard is startled, but he's going to be bringing up his weapon to bear?
Why did I ever do it differently? And I just pull out my gun as my first action and just shoot him in the face.
Okay. Why do I try? Bam.
2 successes.
Plan bang it is.
His head is a pink mist and his body falls off the roof. Do you want to try and grab it?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, body comes tumbling down. Splat hits the ground. Back over to RX. The dogs are running at you. What are you doing?
Standing my ground.
Standing your ground? Okay. Jumping over to Manticore. What are you doing, sir? You still frozen?
No. I think that what happened is like when the machine gun went off, Manticore didn't know what to do, and he turned to say, "Do you think that was the signal?" To see RX like an RX-shaped hole next to him. It was running ahead, and I go, and I jam my Manticore mask helmet on and run straight into the middle of the right through the big doors.
Okay, so you're running right through the big doors. You're not looking for RX at all. Okay, so
well, I see I see he's running towards the building, right?
Right.
And the dogs are running towards him, but I think that I'm going the plan was I was going to go through the front doors, so I'm going through the front doors.
Sticking to the plan. I like it. All right. So give me a some sort of a strength check to just break through the doors.
Okay. So I have super strength 1, which means my melee attacks are at +1 damage, and it also gives me strong, which means I have advantage when using brute force on a test. And I think that this would qualify for that.
I think so.
Just yeah. It's smashing. No, that's stupid. What am I? It's
Smashy time.
Oh man, those doors are reinforced.
Oh no, what happened?
No successes.
Okay, you come at the door full speed and you're like, all right. And you just throw your shoulder into it and it does not give. Jumping back to RX, you see Manticore run past. The dog leaps up in the air.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and do a speed test, see who gets to go first.
D6?
I got a total of 6. So whenever you do a speed test of some kind or initiative, you would roll both d6s and then add them together. That gives you your number in the initiative order.
I've got an 8.
You get to go first, so dog is midair. Boof.
So I'm studied in judo, which, primarily is redirecting your opponent's energy so that they either hurt themselves or they just go out of the way. So basically, I want to put one arm like on the dog's, I guess it would be left side, and then just throw it down, not to hurt it, but just, stun it and get it out of my way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try at the very least, and that is one of my mastered attacks or proficient attacks.
Okay.
So let's see what we got here. 2 successes.
Nice. Okay. So describe it as the dog leaps up, makes contact with your arm. What happens next?
Basically, I just wrap my arm around it and then sort of shift my weight enough so that I propel it, like not quite so it hits the wall, but so it lands on the ground with a thud and skids a little bit. So it's, shaking its head and disoriented.
Okay. The fight's definitely taken out of this dog. It gets up and then runs off into the darkness. So you no longer have to worry about that. But the guard is going to be pulling out his gun any second now. Okay. Jumping back to the roof. Dodger. You see her just blow away the last guard. You hear the dogs and you hear the patrols searching. And you hear a very loud thud. And the building rocks just a little. You're like, oh, wait, wasn't Manticore supposed to go through the front door? Who knows? So what do you do?
It's probably fine.
That's a signal?
That's exactly what he thinks. Is that the signal? Wish he'd been clear about the signal. So does the guard who I killed have any kind of communication device on him?
Absolutely. They've got a walkie-talkie and a headset.
Great. I would like to grab the walkie-talkie and headset and try to dissuade anybody who might be on the headset and let them know everything's fine. We thought we saw something, but it was a raccoon. Situation normal. Yeah, so we're gonna do that.
Makes sense.
Really badly.
Do it. Go for it.
Oh no.
I hope you get a success.
I got a 5!
That must be one hell of a raccoon. It's a meta raccoon, I think.
He's a real chunky boy.
Well, with all the open vats of chemicals in Gotham, it's probably some kind of mutated freak.
Or
bet you it's like Raccoon Man's head or something got out.
Yeah, just what we need, another one.
Okay, so.
He says in his best goon.
Oh, you speak goon. Good.
Well, I speak like conversational goon. I can ask her to go to the bathroom in goon. I can order at a goon restaurant.
Oh my god.
3 years of goon in high school, but he hasn't followed up on that since.
Right. Strangely enough, goon is not in Duolingo.
Wow, what an oversight.
You had to go through Khan Academy. It's fun. It's fine.
Oh, it's in goon lingo.
There it is. Yeah.
With they also have classes in hench, minion, and sidekick.
I want this as a t-shirt now.
Abomination. That's where it is.
This has to be a t-shirt now. I speak goon fluently. All right. So, you've convinced most of them to stand down. Those that have visuals on actual threats like RX here and Manticore, they are not going to be doing so. Unfortunately, they are too busy trying to fill you with lead to respond on the walkie-talkies. So, Lynn, what are you doing right now?
Do I see the combat going on between?
Oh yeah, you look down and you see Manticore run into the door and run into the door.
She's like, I thought I was supposed to take the front door, and teleports down there. And can I try to bash it open too?
Sure.
And 6.
Mm-hmm.
You get a pole. That's the problem. Oh.
She's like, ladies first, and like opens the door for you.
Yeah, the door gives way.
I loosened it.
Indeed, I'm sure you did. Please.
All right, hail of gunfire immediately launches out towards the opening in the doorway.
Oh, no.
RX, the other guy, he's bringing his gun up to bear. He's going to take a shot at you.
I'm going to evade.
And okay. So with evade, you would roll 1d6. And
Brawler, which means that if I'm unarmed, I'm evading with 2d6. And I have not yet drawn my stinger pistol. So I would like to roll with 2d6.
Okay. Oh, thankfully you don't have to, because he didn't get a success.
Oh, but I wanted to roll.
Then you go ahead and roll, buddy.
No, it's fine. It's fine. The moment's
Oh, look, one of these is a success. It did win. Hey, who knew? These dice, they're so loaded.
My heart.
That needs to be a t-shirt.
Oh,
I hope someone's got a list going.
that's a good one.
Someone open a
so
Word doc.
He hit me, right?
Right.
Okay. Then I would like to close the distance and also judo throw him in such a way that maybe I can get him into like a sleeper hold.
Okay. All right. Roll on up and do so. You move. So movement in this game, it takes one action. On your turn, you have two actions. Just like Pathfinder, you can spend both actions to attack, both actions to move, whatever you'd like. Since this is a kind of rules light game, you kind of move in zones. So everything is at most 3 zones away, and you're moving either close to medium to far. So this enemy, they're medium, so you can get to them no problem.
Okay, cool. So yeah, run up. Nope. Run up and I lose my nerve somehow.
No, that's fine. This is a practiced goon. This just because you failed doesn't mean that you're bad. The enemy could just be good as well.
Okay, fine. Yes, let's go with that. It's his fault, not mine.
He learned anti-judo, so he is
What?
throwing his weight into you.
He knows the anti-judo equation.
Wouldn't that just be judo?
Love you, Nick.
Okay, so you two are tussling. We'll come back to you. Let me see. Dodger, we haven't done anything with. Dodger, what are you doing? Oh, you did on the microphone. So yes, you got some of them to stand down, but of course the breaching of the entry has alerted the rest. Oh, this person on the microphone is a liar. He's a lying liar who lies.
No, I'm the truther who truths. All right, I'm going to abandon that. Looking at the skylight, does it look like, I'm just going to try to sneak in because that we don't know I'm there. Does it look like it's armed at all with any kind of alarm? Like, what am I looking at as far as breaking in?
Okay, eyeing it up as if you're Catwoman. Go ahead and give me a perception check of some kind or investigation.
With
So
this,
just a regular 2D check.
Okay.
Unless you have something for burglary.
Well, I have nimble fingers, which gives me advantage on picking locks, stealing, and sleight of hand.
I would say if there is a lock to this, it would definitely be advantageous. But if there is no lock, it's just eyeing to see for locks.
Got it. Okay, let's take a look. That's 2 successes.
Okay, looking through it, you see that there is actually a lock on the skylight. So you will need to disable that.
All right, let's take that lock out. That is 1 6.
That's all you need. It nimbly pops off, and the window springs up, allowing you full vantage into the building. You hear the gunfire. You can smell the smoke as it's coming up towards you. It looks like there is a total of 5 people behind crates firing at the entrance where your allies are at.
Cool. I'm just going to start moving to slink behind them.
Okay, are you dropping down?
I'm going to, so you said, so I'm on the roof.
Yeah, from
You
the
said it was
roof
2
to
stories.
the second story.
Is there a
gonna be
way to
about-
get to the second story, like so it's not a full drop to the ground?
Like a mezzanine or something?
Or a catwalk. There's probably a catwalk.
They're You know what? Let's let the dice decide. No, there's no catwalk, but there is enough beams and rails that if you wanted to like monkey bar your way across, you could.
Okay,
There's a
let's
dog
give,
walk.
let's give that a go. I'm gonna try to
Dog walker.
try to parkour my way across.
Parkour!
That's 1 5, which is a success. So we're good there.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you go ahead and move just enough, but then I'm gonna hold you there.
Yeah.
That was you opened it and then you moved in.
That's totally fine.
So you got the drop on them if you fall.
Cool.
So, moving around, Manticore. The door is now open. Gunfire is coming at you. I'm sure you've stepped out of the way of the gunfire, or are you just charging right in?
No, I take it. Gunfire can't hurt me.
Gunfire can't hurt you? So you're like, feed me.
No, I'm not like, aim for the skull, punks.
I don't know. That'd be really cool if you did.
But I shout to Lynn, stay behind me, because I don't think that he understands the extent of her regeneration. So you'll stay behind me, and I will move into melee to the closest group who's firing. Okay. And if I still have an action, then I will make an attack.
All right, you're just technically you're moving and you talked, so you still have an action. The guy is firing at you wildly, bam, 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 bam. He's freaking out. You see his eyes are going wild. Oh no, it's another metahuman.
So I rear back with the techno-organic arm, and that's a 6. I got a success.
Okay.
It's probably like a chest blow, and so the way I'm picturing it is that like he just like wind is gone and he just crumples. I mean, if we're going right to death, then yes, this is the gory blood splatter.
This is entirely up to you how deadly you want to be.
Well, honestly, we haven't had a talk about that tone-wise, folks. So let's take a moment and discuss that here. I know that a big inspiration for this game was Harley Quinn, which did not shy away from just splattering goons and guts everywhere and laughing it off like, well, that's Gotham. So are we okay with that tone, or do we want to be a little more realistic, or how is this?
I'm okay with it. Up to you guys.
Yeah, I'm okay with the Harley Quinn level of gore.
Same. I'm okay with excessive violence.
Mm-hmm. Says the guy who just slit someone's throat.
I was gonna say, we've already set a precedent. Really, to walk back at this point would be.
Yeah.
Well, we can always walk back.
I did just shoot someone through the face.
That's true. And turned them into a fine pink mist where their head used to be.
Although I will say, what I know about Manticore, your instinct probably is not first to kill, but to just sort of incapacitate. That's all you had a character. That's reading.
Yeah, I think that it might be a Lenny situation.
Mm.
Like I don't mean to do that thing, but he's not getting back out. Would be how I would interpret that.
Men, John Steinbeck, everybody. Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that too.
Okay,
great. So rear back punch, and his chest collapses and he falls back towards the other goons.
Okay, are you sending them into the other goons, or are you just sending them against a wall?
No, I mean, if there's an opportunity for me to knock them into the other goons, that's what I would do.
Yeah, go ahead and give me just another test, just to see if you can do that.
Sure. Now, would my mastery come into play for this, or is it just 2?
Are you mastered in punching goons?
I'm mastered in heavy melee.
I'm going to say no on this. You'll do a lot more damage because normally it is just the extra 1 extra point, but
okay. And
then your strength adds another point. But, ooh, man,
that is a success.
Okay, you hit him. He goes flying right into another goon. The 2 are groaning, knocked out. They're out of the fight. There are 3 goons left. RX, you are tangled.
Sorry.
With this guy in the alley.
So I'm actually going to use one of my actions to draw my auto-injector stinger pistol.
Mm-hmm.
And then just kind of get it under his rib cage and say, "Stay down, man." And I'm going to fire a tranquilizer dart into his fatty tissue.
Okay. Aim for the fatty parts. Go ahead and make that roll, sir.
And that is my mastered attack. So let's see. 1 ringy-dingy. No. I've got 1 success.
That's all you need. You need is
all
1.
Right.
So go ahead and explain what happens. Describe it.
An auto-injector is like something you'd see on Star Trek where Bones puts in a vial of something and then, you've got medicine now, Jim. But I converted mine into a sort of firearm that shoots off these tiny little flechettes that are coated in a high-grade surgical anesthetic. because I don't want to kill anybody really, not yet at least. But I do like
Me
to
neither.
not so I can avoid fighting when I can. So yeah,
Misguided.
like very space agey silver with like a pistol grip and just. And I see him kind of with his eyes rolling back, and you can tell he's got cotton mouth, and he just drops like a sack of potatoes.
His lips peel back as he passes out.
Yeah.
And he's done.
Exactly.
So outside the building, there are 2 other patrols with dogs that have yet to be dealt with. Inside the building, there are 3 folks left. Lynn, you were left at the door, or are you running up behind Manticore as he entered?
Well, as he said, get behind me, I would have said, I don't need a man to protect me, though. And I would teleport behind the goons if I can see them. It has to be in the line of sight for my teleport, though.
Okay, you can do so.
And I'll just shoot another one from behind.
Okay, you teleport and go ahead and give me a shot.
All right, let's see. 1 success.
It's all you need. You shoot the goon. Oh! Didn't see it coming. He goes down. Dodger, you're hanging from the roof. You see there's 2 more goons left. What do you do?
Oh, I'm going to drop on him. I'm going to drop on him real good. I've seen all the clips of Batman doing this. How hard could it be? So yeah, I'm gonna fall and land behind them and get a little stabby stab on.
Dope. Go for it.
Stabby stab.
So next person can go. That was real cute. That was 2 2s and a 3. So, yep. All fine here now. How are you?
So you land very heavily, like it just out of character for you. Normally you land on your balls, your feet, and then roll forward. You landed on your heels, and you just feel the vibrations up your legs, and it's kind of left you stunned and unable to move. So that is what has happened to you, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Son of a bat, that hurt.
Just as you're shaking from the shock, there's a huge explosion somewhere far, far away.
Oh, that was the signal.
Signal.
Oh.
Close enough.
I think in the comic panel, that's the 3 of us with the word balloon that all have the thing going up into O, and then yours right next to it. Close enough.
Close enough.
All right. So, you've landed. You're trying to recover. You've gotten the signal. Manticore, back to you. You've knocked out 2 of the guards. Lynn has teleported 2 guards left, and both their attention is drawn to Dodger.
I will rush to. Now, do I need to still move since we're technically in melee? Am I still close enough that I could take 2 attacks on these 2 guys?
You could take 1 attack if you moved up, because you have to move to close the distance with them.
Okay.
And then 1 attack to make your attack.
Okay, so I will do that.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're not all like shoulder to shoulder. Nice punch-in line.
No, I understand. I just figured that like melee range also included like some tactical maneuvering.
Like the same
since
zone.
I'm not going into a new zone, so I didn't know if I would have to move. That is 2 successes.
Whew. All right, what happens?
I think that I charge the one on the left, and I grab on my left. So I grab his gun arm, and can I use him to slam into the other guy? Can I use him like a bat to hit the other one?
You can hit a motherfucker with another motherfucker. I like it.
You got it.
Do it.
So that's my plan.
All right, go ahead and roll for the second attack.
Okay. Also 1 success.
Okay. You throw them into the other one. They tangle up. They form a nice little pile with the other 2 goons. So you've got a 4 goon pile up. 4 or 5 is looking gnarly, but you'll get through it. So,
those goons good, right?
Dodger, as they level their guns at you to take you out, Manticore grabs one goon, throws him into another, and you're essentially saved for the most part.
Oh, well done, Manticore. You've been studying up. I let them think I was going to attack them, so you get the opportunity on them. I like the way you think.
Lynn rolls her eyes.
Teamwork.
Neither of you see it.
Okay, so there are still 2 other guards outside with dogs. They are running into the building. Let's see, who has not gone in a bit? RX, what are you doing, sir?
I'm going to try to circle around to follow at least one of the guards with the dogs.
Okay.
Far enough behind that they can't see me. And once they're in the building, I will try to make good of the situation. And that's the technical term.
Of course. Only the technical term. All right, go ahead and take your shot, sir, as you trail them into the building.
So technically, though, moving and then shooting would be 2 actions.
2 actions,
so I guess
correct.
take one of them, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That is 1 success for that.
Okay, were you shooting at the dog or were you shooting at the henchman?
The henchman.
Okay, henchman. Sleepy time goes down.
And that's it.
Okay. The other henchman and the 2 dogs run into the building from the same entrance that Manticore had opened up. They're headed directly for Lynn.
No, I think that Lynn had opened up.
Oh, the Lynn had opened up. I'm sorry.
That's
The Manticore
credit
had
where it's due.
the Manticore had weakened, but Lynn had opened up.
She just like push.
There's a Manticore-shaped dent.
Oh no, it was darling, it's a pull.
Yeah, that's right. Just like
So yes, Lynn, you hear the barking of 2 dogs as they are running and they are going to jump at you. They are mid-air. What are you going to do?
I'll dodge. So that's 1d6.
Okay. So first dog is wide and misses you. Second dog is going to be a success. So you get 1d6. If you get a 5 or a 6 on that, you dodge it.
I do not dodge it, so I take 1 stress. Correct.
Correct. The dog lands on you, grappling onto your arm with its teeth and digging and just shaking like holy hell.
Okay.
From behind them comes one of the guards. He levels his gun at you and fires. Since you cannot move, since you have the dog, let's see what happens. It's okay. He's a terrible shot. Went to the Stormtrooper Academy and misses. All right.
I was
Dodger.
going to say,
Okay.
lift the dog and use it like a shield.
You could, but he
Rather
missed, so you
have-
don't need
I'd
to.
rather have the NPC kill the poor doggy.
They're just doing their jobs. They're doggies. They don't know better.
Aww.
Dodger.
Yeah, I'm going to rush up and attack the guard that just tried to shoot Lynn. Because
Okay.
that's not cool. Not about that life. So
Mhm.
we're gonna do a stabby stab about it. Give me dice. We're gonna do a stabby stab about it. That's better. That's 2 successes. So, hooray!
Nice. Describe it, sir.
So Dodger does he dusts himself off. He sees Lynn in trouble, runs, and does like a push off. Like he almost runs up against the big giant crate that they were moving,
Mm-hmm.
and does like a run, almost run up and push off from the crate, and shanks the guy in the side.
Nice.
Nice. He's 2 days from retirement. Goes down.
Sucks to be him.
Yeah.
All right.
Now I do have something. I don't know because I don't know if Dodger wants to kill a dog, but I do have an option here. I have Cleave, which if I drop an enemy to 0 stress in melee, I can make an extra attack with disadvantage. Could I do an unarmed attack, which I know would already be at disadvantage, or is that too much disadvantage and it would just be moot?
It's too much disadvantage. It would be moot. And remember, you don't have to kill the dog. Remember, the same 2d6 you can use for, I want to try and pacify the dog. I want to be like, come here, Poochie, chill. So there's no way you have to kill them.
All right.
In my pocket.
Yeah, literally, you could say you've got bacon. Take one stress. You've got bacon in your pocket. Boom.
I like that. I think I will do that. I think I planned ahead for the dogs because I've had to burgle places with animals before, and you keep a little something just in case.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna do a bacon about it.
Fantasy
so
animal vegan, you stop it. Sorry.
That is 2 4s. So I don't do a bacon about it. Or I try, and the dog's a vegan. Who knew? Who knew?
It's
Who knew?
I regenerate. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I mean, you could literally like chop off a little bit of yourself and be like, "Here, Deadpool, go."
Yeah.
All right. So you do have the bacon, and you're trying to catch their attention. And I'm going to just say that it's not that the bacon doesn't work. You're not able to catch their attention. This way,
Sure.
you can try again. Doesn't mean it's all doom and gloom. Manticore, what are you doing, sir?
I want to grab the dog that has Lynn's arm
Mm-hmm.
by the collar, and probably like force the jaws off and say "bad dog," and I'm gonna try and pacify the dog by showing that I'm a bigger, scarier predator.
Sounds good.
And I'll kind of snarl in the lion-headed mask as an additional.
I'm all for it. You managed to pry it off. You're super strong, so I'm not even going to make you roll for that. But let's see if you can intimidate this poochie.
Well, I got a success.
Okay, it cowers and rolls over and shows you its belly.
Sit.
Flips over and sits down. One other dog is running up and is going to attack you from behind. RX, what do you do, sir?
What do I do? I run up to the dog and try to catch it by its collar and literally just bear hug it to the ground.
Okay, go ahead and give me that test.
Try, that is. So doopity boop, shoopity boop. Yes, I got one success. So in slow motion, it's just like. And I land on my back with the dog on top, and we're kind of wrestling for a second, and it's strangely adorable. In slow motion, then you cut back to fast motion, the dog's like.
Good night, sweet pup. Well, it's time to go.
Okay, so you managed to pacify the dog as well. The last 2 dogs, they run off, and they're out of here. So you are now left with this warehouse that is empty except for crates and dead goons or incapacitated goons.
Assuming it's like my turn, I would just regenerate all the dog's damage as well. So.
Oh yeah, you
I
just
don't-
need to take a minute and it'll start healing.
Yeah, it's just every round. So I'm.
Well, what the hell they're actually producing in this factory?
Yes, I'm quite curious myself.
Whatever.
Isn't it a warehouse, not a factory?
Well,
Who's a good dog? Who's a good dog? And I'm feeding the dog half a hamburger that I had in a pocket because I've been learning from Dodger.
Perfect. All right. So what are you all doing here? You've got the building more or less. I mean, aside from the big hole in the doorway that Lynn put there. Good job, Lynn.
Yeah.
What? I opened it. That was remarkably easy, wasn't it?
It would have been easier if they hadn't spotted us on the roof. But yes, it was remarkably easy.
Ah, dear. You're just trying to do things the hard way when you could do it all the easy way. A gun to the face is so much simpler.
I don't want to stick around and clean up that mess. Do you? Wait, don't
She shrugs. Well, should we check what's in these crates? I'm assuming there's like crates and stuff in the warehouse, right?
Yep, there are crates and stuff in the warehouse.
Are there any markings on that giant crate that I did some parkour off of? Does it say like dangerous nuclear weapon?
It does
Or
say dangerous nuclear
puppies.
weapon and puppies. They saved on shipping, so they put them in the same box.
There you go.
Dangerous nuclear puppies.
Oh, that's scary.
Okay, so looking at the crate, the big one, it actually says property of Gotham Museum.
Hmm. Does someone care to open it, or should I open it again?
Yeah, Dodger's already very excited about the possibility of what that might be. So he's got a dagger out and he's trying to pry things open.
Is it important, you think? This looks like some sort of egghead stuff. RX, you want to take a look?
You're a doctor, aren't you?
Antiquities. That's not my field of study. Dodger?
I'm working on it. Hey, Manticore, word to the wise, egghead stuff usually means eggheads are willing to pay big money for it.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to open that?
Like you open the door to the warehouse.
Carefully.
I think I've almost got it, he said, rolling.
Okay, and I turn my attention back to the dog.
Okay, the dog is chill.
I want to keep these dogs, man. That's a hideout. That's a hideout upgrade. Right?
Oh, do you want to go get 3 puppies? Do you want to go find the other 2 that ran off?
No.
2 is fine.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so I got 2 successes on trying to pry the crate open.
Okay. You try and pull the crate open, and sure enough, it disintegrates. The crate just falls apart for you. And inside you see a stone statue of some kind. It looks like it's a male figure with a long, flowing hood with a vase over his shoulder, and it looks like he's pouring it forward. There's nothing coming out of the vase itself. Anyone want to take a gander at some of the markings on the statue?
I'd be curious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to split the party and see if there is like a control room or like a break room or something, just to see if there's any sort of security system we can disable or any. Just see if somebody knows we're here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I take a look and see that it's some kind of statue, and I'm gonna keep chilling with the dogs. I mean, like, I'm paying attention. I'm still in the same room, but I'm not like looking for any markings or anything, because this doesn't mean anything to Manticore.
That makes sense. Okay, so Nikki and Dodger are looking it over. Go ahead and give me just a normal test, unless you have some sort of knowledge.
If it's magical or like supernatural.
I'd say yes, it is magical.
Is there any sort of a appraisal thing included with Dodger's stuff?
No,
Being a
unfortunately.
thief?
But there is no like crit fail, right?
No.
Okay, good. Then I just failed. Definitely don't have 2 1s on those dice. I don't know what you're worried about.
Oh, jeez. I have 1 6.
Okay. You actually have seen this before. It's a flash from possibly another life or another time, but you have seen this in and surrounding with its cousins, the Lazarus Pit.
Oh. Sorry, metagaming.
I believe I've seen this before. It's somehow connected to the Lazarus Pit. It's not a Ra's al Ghul's shtick.
Who the who? I don't bother with any of that sort of Christian
Just this
teachings.
troublesome immortal that likes to pick on Batman every once in a while.
Great. Does this bring him here?
I mean, you heard the immortal parts, right?
Yeah, but if he's hassling the bat.
I mean, he probably wouldn't take kindly to us bursting into his merchandise, would he?
Does make me wonder if this piece. You said it's part of the Lazarus Pit.
Right. So surrounding the Lazarus Pit, in various depictions, you have fonts that pour into this giant pool. Mm-hmm. This is one of those fonts that pours into it.
I wonder if they disassembled it and are planning to reassemble it here in Gotham.
Well, that might mean that Ra's Akal is...
Ra's al Ghul, to be precise.
That's what I said.
That's not what you said at all.
He's a ghoul? Like
No,
paralyzing
Ra's
touch?
al
And
Ghul.
Yeah,
No.
Raish Ghuli.
No. He looks... whatever. I'm going to break up another crate.
But this could mean that he's in town?
Possibly. I'm going to break up another crate while I'm talking and see if it's another part of it.
Okay, you break up other crates, and they're mostly firearms and whatnot, but I'm going to cut away from that for a second. We're going to jump over to RX. RX, as you are looking around for some sort of a security center, you find that there's no hub where there are cameras set or security wires or anything set up to monitor entry and exit from this building. But what you do find is a stairway that leads down beneath the building itself. Now, you do know that beneath this building is the docks, so stairway leading down should just lead to water.
Good. Okay. Is there like a mag light or something I can grab?
I don't know. Did you bring a mag light?
Well, I'm gonna incur a stress and say, oh, by the way, big red
Perfect.
mat. And I also have a club if I need. So yeah, I'm gonna first shine my light down the stairs, see if I can see how far down they go. I'm imagining that's probably not gonna tell me a lot, so I'm gonna yell out and say, hey, I think I found something over here.
Do any of you respond to that?
It seems like RX needs our help. I guess I'll look in on him unless you wish to come. And I'll start walking.
Well, yeah. I mean, it makes more sense for me to go, I think, since you know more about this business. If you find more pieces, you'll know what to do with them.
Hardly. And I just keep walking after RX.
Easy enough. And I'll follow behind her.
I will grab like some packing cord, like the plastic cords that were around the crates, and use that to tie to the collar of the dogs so that they don't run off.
Make impromptu leashes? All right.
Yeah, and I'm going to say, stay.
And they both
And then
sit
I'll-
and obediently stay.
Okay, and then I'll walk back.
Are you planning on keeping those beasts?
Well, yeah, why?
You know, that's quite a commitment, right? You have to feed them, you have to water them, and you have to do all of that, look after their toilet.
But we can't just kick them out. That would be cruel. That would be animal cruelty right there. And besides, if we're gonna have this warehouse, if we're gonna make this our new base, we're gonna want some trusted canine friends who can watch it when we sleep or when we're not here.
Very well, as long as it's not my responsibility.
Plus, I mean, we have all this dog food lying around. He gestures to the pile of unconscious goons.
Goon chow. How dark we going?
Pigs are better.
They're not hyenas.
So I guess I'm just gonna go down these stairs now.
We're all walking
We're
there.
coming.
Keep your mask on. Jeez. All right, so they all arrive within a few moments.
Old folks, right?
I mean,
Wow.
I am the oldest one here, so.
But I have to ask. Does Lynn look it?
No, she looks like she's in her mid to late 20s.
Okay, so I don't say that out loud because you're also an old person.
So yes, they all arrive. RX.
Yeah, first I shine the light in their face and then light down the stairs. So who wants to go first?
Suppose it'll be me.
All right, the stairs, they are metallic with a stone wall coming up on each side. It looks like it continues down for a good 15, 20 feet before meeting another metal door.
I'll put away my gun and just keep like my dagger out, and then have my lighter in my other hand.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Because I was smoking earlier, so I assume I have a lighter. So.
Sure. I know you just lit it with hellfire or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lynn is leading the way. Who's going next?
I'll go.
I'll follow behind Manticore.
Okay, Manticore, and then Dodger, and then RX bringing up the rear.
Yeah, sort of unwillingly, but certainly don't stay up there by myself.
Makes sense. You hear the bang of the dogs in the other room as you all continue down.
I'm coming.
Lynn, you see a very large door in front of you. It seems very solid, like you couldn't punch through it. Do you try the handle?
Yeah, of course. It worked last time.
Good. You give the handle a twist, and you hear an audible tss, almost as if there's something being released. A greenish mist begins to roll out the bottom of the door.
Oh, I do believe I triggered a trap. She's just going to keep opening the door. She's confident.
I think there's a trap here.
You might want to stand back.
So yes, the rest of you see this green mist rolling
I
up
hold
the
my breath.
stairs. You hold your breath?
It's rolling up the stairs?
Yeah.
Oh no.
What did you do, Ray?
Yeah. Does it seem, in my admittedly limited experience, does it seem like it is guided, like it's an intelligent movement, or are you just describing that it's
a
heavier
pressurized
than...
movement, as in like the door is open and so the air is pulling things out of it.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense. Like, yeah, it's pressurized in the room. You open the door, so anything that was in there is now being pulled out and up.
Right.
So there, as you walk in the room, Lynn, right?
Yeah.
Lights automatically flicker on, and you see rows upon rows of trees. Not full-grown like ferns, but more like shrubs in their early life. And soil beneath them, too.
Interesting. Can I, do a check to see if I know where they're from, or,
Check for trees? Okay.
Yeah, I know, what type of trees these are, if there's anything special about them.
Absolutely. Go ahead and make a check.
Okay.
Perfect. We have some place for the dogs.
One success.
One success. Okay, so you do know trees very well. You've studied them since you've gotten out of hell. You're like, trees. That's new to me. I want to learn about it. But no, you haven't seen these. They look like hybrid trees of different types, and none of which would ever go together. Like there's some pine, there's some willow. You've never seen a hybrid like this at all.
And I'll point that out. Oh, these are all hybrids. Quite interesting. There's pine over there, and it seems to be crossbred with I'll just start blah blah a little bit.
Botany,
I'm nerding out a little bit.
Botany. And it looks like this whole thing goes out for another 90 feet. The whole room is 40 feet wide, 90 feet deep.
And it's all enclosed, right? There's no, skylight or anything where these trees be getting...
Nope, just looks like these overhead lights are the only things that would have provided it. And they only kicked on when you entered.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but trees don't usually grow indoors, do they?
Unless these are some kind of grow lights.
Do they seem to be the lights seem to be like that, special in some way, or?
So, and if any of you want to investigate the lights, you see that they're normal fluorescent lights. They're not grow lights or UV lights of any kind. There doesn't even seem to be a good irrigation system set up. Only thing here is dirt. You know, the salt water that's above them, it probably wouldn't help. If anything, that would harm most of these trees.
Oh, we're underneath the harbor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is there any way to roll, like maybe if I would know if this would be connected to the Lazarus pit in any way?
Sure, you can go ahead and make the check. What are the rest of you doing? Are you all just standing at the doorway? Are you exploring deeper? Are you investigating the trees yourself or a sprinkler system or anything?
I don't think that. I think that like we opened it up, and like Al Capone's tomb, there was nothing interesting in it except for some trees, and so I think that Manticore is pretty much done at that point. And I'm going to head back upstairs and keep an eye on our holdings and the dogs.
Okay. RX, Dodger?
Yeah, I'm definitely going with Manticore.
All right, I'll save down here with Lynn. Because if the Lazarus pit is here, I mean, it's an odd, there's a whole lot of weird things happening, and this seems oddly connected to a potential, a different A-list villain in Gotham, which makes me a little nervous. So I'm kind of out of idle curiosity and also protecting Lynn in case she needs it, in case she needs backup. But making sure the door is open so I can escape if I need to.
Okay. Lynn, as you're investigating further and trying to connect, could this Lazarus pit be connected to this? There doesn't seem to be any clear connection, any way that the two would work together. When you hear a whisper come from one of the trees, "Help me!"
Oh, I'm gonna go.
Oil can.
Yeah, I'll definitely go up to the tree and be like, "Excuse me."
You see eyes burst open and the bark split as you can clearly see human teeth beneath it. Help me!
Oh, are you cursed in some way?
Ivy!
Poison ivy.
And his eyes just bulge. And you start to hear a chorus of other trees. Help me! Help me! Help me!
Oh, quite interesting. And I'll turn to Dodger and say, it seems that these might have been people who are turned into plants by poison ivy.
Good. That's not nightmare fuel at all, he says in character.
Does this bother you? I've seen quite worse things. She smiles a little bit.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of weird shit, but people turning into trees is not one of them. And of all the villains, Ivy's not one I'd like to get on the bad side of. So I'm kind of interested to see what her connection to this place is and why Anarch wants it.
Indeed, you do raise a good point. We could find out more information.
Do you know how to save these people? I mean,
why would I want to save these people?
Because we could use them. They could be goons. Maybe they could be our goons.
You raise an interesting point. Very well. Let me see. Can I examine them and see if there's any way that I would know to like turn them back, or like an anecdote, or?
Okay, go ahead and roll.
5?
Unfortunately, with your time here on this planet, you aren't really sure if there's any way to do so.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I'm not. Well, I've heard of poison ivy. I haven't crossed paths with her.
Yeah. Cool.
We do have a medical friend, after all. Perhaps he knows something about anecdotes and different potions.
You make a good point. I am not passing the buck here at all.
They all begin to scream as you move for the door. Don't leave us! It's dark!
I just pat one of the branches and say, there, you'll be quite all right. And I start walking.
No!
I'm sure you deserved it.
Is there another door on the end of the corridor, or is it just one big room?
One big room.
Okay. Hey, don't worry about it. We've got a Dr. Fred. We can have to take a look at you. We won't leave you alone.
You hear all of them groan.
Yeah, except one in the back who goes, nice.
That's a Nick tree.
Yep.
Nice.
I have a question for the people who are investigating, or to Jameson about the room, just in case. Is it just rows and rows and rows of trees and tubs, or is there like a workbench or anything along the walls? Is there any sort of like...
That's a very good question. No one has actually gone too deep into the building. Most of one said they're taking a peek in. 2 of you left. 1 of you stayed to actually look at the one tree, and the other one was guarding the door. So no one's investigated any deeper.
Okay. I just didn't know if it just hadn't come up.
Good. I think we're going to go get RX's opinion now.
Yeah, I agree. We'll get RX to take a look at them, and maybe while he's examining them, we can take a better look around. But talking hissing trees, not my MO. I don't know it. I don't know her.
This is quite a new, interesting kind of torture. I have to remember it for later.
Making it not to get on your bad side again.
Oh, you're quite all right. She pats you on the shoulder.
That's comforting to know. Hey, Doc, you still there?
Tells me that. What? What's going on down there?
We got some people down here that could use your medical expertise.
Well, people is quite a loose term.
Shh, he won't come down if he knows.
What kind of trouble are they in?
They're turned into trees.
They're simply petrified.
I'm sorry, what? What did you say? It sounded like they turned into trees?
Oh, just come here, bollocks.
The hidden vault is tree pull. It's tree pull.
I thought of that, but I wasn't sure how to properly say it so that you win.
I have a feeling Falcone at least runs an OSHA-approved building, so there's probably some sort of first aid kit, because he at least doesn't want to run afoul of OSHA. Trust me, it's painful. So Art grabs the first aid kit, goes back down the stairs with his mag light. He sees Dodger and he sees Lynn, and then as soon as the trees start wailing, he just drops the first aid kit, and it's like, what the actual fuck is going on here?
Well, have you heard of poison? I assume you've heard of poison ivy. Well, evidently she turns people into trees. And I'm guessing, well, based on their reactions, that they seem to be those people.
I mean, I'm sure you can do something for him, right?
I'm going to need a minute here.
I mean, there's probably some kind of anecdote that you can get up in your little mind of yours. I have faith in you, which is not something I say lightly. Faith is an overrated concept.
Almost like the sound of a heavy breeze blowing through the trees, where it goes shh. You're hearing that, but it's just help us.
Oh my God.
All right, I'll go to the closest one. Do I see the human teeth in the eyes and all of the nightmare fuel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bloodshot eyes, straight rows of teeth, just beneath the bark.
I need you to open your mouth very wide and stick out your tongue.
One of them. He does
part
so.
of your brother to hold it down so I can take a look.
It does so, and its mouth cracks, and you see the jaw split open as it tries to open wide. And its eyes begin to water in pain, but now it can't shut its mouth, so it's now wide open. You can.
Don't worry, Doc. I'm sure its bark is worse than its bite.
I'll
That's a good one. I like that one.
and I get my my mag light and look for a dilation response in the eyes.
They respond.
Okay. How long have you been this way?
Wait, I don't know. I guess his mouth is open. I don't know.
No, I went to another one because obviously
you broke this one.
Yeah, I broke. You remember who did this to you?
Ivy.
Yo, I already told you that. Aren't you paying attention?
Don't leave us.
So I turn around and I bring them in close. I've read some of Dr. Isley's papers. It's fascinating. It's all proprietary. Look, I'm smart and I'm good. I can't undo this. I don't know how to fix these creatures.
Should we just burn them then? Put them out their misery?
It's an option.
I mean, how would you feel if you were in eternal torment turned into a tree? I know that those in hell would also like the same kind of relief, but you know, we can't all get what we want, can we?
My only concern there really is Ivy did this to them for a reason. She may want them at some point. Again, of all the villains in Gotham, she's kind of on my main list of people I don't want to fuck over.
Look, she can attack you in ways you can't possibly anticipate. It's brilliant and it's terrible. And I'm with Dodger on this one. I do not want to piss off Poison Ivy. Look, Manticore, do you still have your laptop?
I'm not down there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I didn't come down. I didn't come down with you.
Wait.
It sounded like it was a medical thing.
Manticore! And he goes back up the stairs. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Manticore.
What are they okay? Were you able to help? I can't hear you.
Do you still have that laptop?
Back at the place, I didn't bring it with me. We were going to be attacking a enemy stronghold. I didn't want to get broken.
Let Anarch know that we're here.
It is his birthday gift, after all.
I'm here for his birthday. He's going to get an edible arrangements bouquet from me tomorrow. What the fuck do you want?
Well, we have a whole room of edible arrangements, really.
Wouldn't a laptop be of sufficiently more value than edible arrangements?
Wait, does anybody have Anarch's number?
No.
You know, when he texted, the number didn't appear. I thought it was weird, but you know, I don't know.
I don't save anyone's number, dear.
Gotta let him know we're here. We gotta let him know that the property is secured somehow. I need a couple minutes to think, but there's nothing I can do for the
Tree bolt.
people downstairs. So just give me a couple minutes to think.
Wait,
All
the
right.
what?
Oh,
The
yes.
triple.
They're all been turned into trees. Don't worry about that. I think I'll look around a little bit more. You stay put or come with me. This really doesn't matter.
I think I'm curious enough to go down to the vault
Oh, good.
and be like,
Yay!
wait, those trees, those are people?
Help
So how close do I get before the help us starts?
You know, it's a classic horror movie. You get like almost nose to nose, and then the eyes open. Help us!
So it looks like you've got this Manticore, and I'm going to go back upstairs.
I'm just going to search the rest of the room because I don't really have anything else to do right now. So.
Okay. So, Lynn, you're searching the rest of the room.
Yeah, I'm gonna like be poking one and
Oh, stop it, Dick.
well they can. That's weird. I mean, I'm not slugging them. I'm just doing a little, you know. Are you in constant pain?
Yes. Everything hurts, and I feel everything.
Wow.
Good. Wow. Wow, indeed. Just saying, horror is my forte. So, Lynn, as you travel deeper into the bunker, as it were, it again just looks like more trees. They're all shimmying and shaking and trying to get your attention. Before you notice a pedestal on the far side. It's a square pedestal, and it looks like several tubes lead to it. So, pedestal on the ground, about 3 feet high, tubes. A series of tubes.
Can I see, like, is the tubes coming out of the wall, or like how is that?
There is one large tube pointing out of the wall that looks like something can be attached to it, but then whatever connects the large tube to these smaller ones is missing.
Is there anything that I can investigate with this? Like, can I see if there's any more part? Is like a part of a larger device? Is it? Can I see figure out what it's used for?
Sure. Go ahead and just give me an investigation check. We'll say.
Okay. 1 success.
Okay, you can tell that something about 6 feet tall would go here, and it would work as a guide for the water.
Ah, pops the statue. I'm gonna go back. I'll just like kind of impatient, so I'm gonna teleport back up, grab the statue. Hi, I'm just gonna grab this, pick it up, and teleport.
Can you teleport with an object that size?
Yeah,
This thing's
it said-
huge.
It's you can move to any point you can see with an action. You disappear from your current position, you reappear at the other. It doesn't say. I assume it's everything I'm carrying. So
I don't think you can lift this thing. I think it's too heavy. I feel like for years you had to have higher levels of teleport to carry more people, more beings.
Tier 2 is a portal that I create, and Tier 3 is I teleport someone else, like with a melee attack, so I can like teleport people.
Yeah, I'm going to say that this one is just too heavy for you to teleport with. Like, you teleport,
Okay,
but it
that's fine.
stays. So you'll need
I'll
to...
just be like, Dodger, can you help me for a moment?
Yeah, sure. Are we going back to the bad place?
You mean the Arboretum, I call it. Come with me.
Arboretum horrors. Yeah, let's do it.
It's not
So
that
while
bad.
all that's going on, can I talk to the trees?
Absolutely.
Because I'm in a Rush song apparently now. So I want to ask one that is not just screaming all the time. Help me, help me, help me! If I can find such a one, like whichever one seems like the most lucid.
Okay.
I want to go like, what's your name?
My name is Arnold.
Why did Ivy do this to you?
I denied her loan at the bank.
Oh, you're a banker.
Yes.
Okay, and how about you? And I'll ask the one next to it.
Landlord.
Uh-huh.
She was late on rent. Tried to evict her.
They definitely deserve it. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah, that's
Did anyone here not cross Poison Ivy?
You looking for a show of hands?
Your branches.
I mean, a
Well,
bunch
I
of them
figured
like
that, if
shimmy.
they can talk. One of them might be like, "Yeah, I just I bumped into her on the subway," or "No, I don't know why I'm here, man."
I mean, yeah, a lot of them will be like, yeah, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what I did to cross her. Some of them could have been guys at clubs trying to pick up on her, and she was just not having it. What? I was just going about my time. But, it's one of those perception things.
Did she say what she wanted to do with you all? I mean, this is pretty elaborate.
She says she keeps her enemies here.
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna get back to you on that. So give me a moment. I'm gonna go track down my friends. We're gonna and I'm just backing out of the room.
Don't leave us. Not the
I'll-
dark.
I'll leave the light on. I'll leave the light on. Is there a switch that I can keep it on?
It's motion censored.
Okay. Hey, if you guys like, if you can move some of those branches, I think you'll keep the lights on. I'll leave the door open.
Okay. You go up the stairs and you see Dodger and Lynn trying to move this thing? Move the statue?
Yeah.
Hey, all those guys down there are like people that Ivy turned into trees because they were landlords or denied a bank loan or hit on her at a club. I think one guy bumped into her with holding a steak sandwich, and I didn't get the full story because it's kind of weird down there.
Sounds like. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
It sounds like they definitely deserved it.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that they all deserve to be trees.
Well, yeah, I mean, fuck landlords, but so do we just close that door? I mean, here's what worried me is they said that they were all enemies of Ivy's and that she kept her enemies here, which means maybe this isn't a Falcone hideout. Maybe it's an Ivy hideout.
I'm pretty good at telling when people are lying. I don't think that Anarch would lie to us. Here, could you take my hand for a moment?
Yeah, sure. What? And I'll just lift the statue.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So we have there's a place that it might go down the room. If you can come with me, and I'll start just leading.
Do you think that's a good idea? And it's not that it's too heavy; it's just awkward.
The question is, why not?
Yeah, what's it gonna do? Kill them?
Real quick,
mutate them into tree monsters, or
they prefer to be called ants. Thank you very much. RX, what are you doing right now?
I'm not talking about little insects. I'm talking about big tree monsters.
I mean, my original intention was to try to see if there's some way we could try to contact Anarch, but that seems appropriately difficult. So having given up on that, I'm going to start looking around at some of the other boxes and stuff to see if there's any commonality to what's here. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay. So looking through the boxes, it looks like most of what's in here is firearms, guns and what have you.
Okay.
And this seems kind of be the odd duck out, as it were.
Sure. Doesn't help me at all. I don't know. I'm going to see maybe I can access the roof to see if the bat signal's flying.
Yeah, you can definitely get on the roof, no problem. Looking out, you do see the bat signal is flying, and you do see other explosions going off in the distance. It's possibly why Anarch is unreachable at this moment.
Sure. He's good. He knows we're here. We're okay, I say to myself. And then I go back down and tentatively take a few steps down the staircase, and I'm like, is everything okay down there?
And by this time, you all carry the statue down the staircase.
Yeah, I think so.
We're just doing some rearranging.
I don't like the sound of that.
Don't worry. You're welcome to help if you want.
Oh, sure.
It looks like the statue is supposed to go here or something.
Yeah, I'll show you the place that I found.
So yeah, I'll go back down the stairs, trying not to make eye contact with any of the ents.
They're all staring furiously at you.
Of course. So I'm like, okay, so what do we got here then? Pointing to the altar.
Yep. Well, we're about to find out, I think. Lynn, this is your party.
Just place it right there, and I like.
Right on the pedestal?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll place it as directed.
Okay, you do so, and it looks like the back of the vase that the statue is holding connects to a pipe almost perfectly. And the water, if it was to be turned on, would flow out through the bottom of the vase into these tubes.
Now we have to find a way to turn it on.
Oh, there's a little knob there. Just you can reach up and turn it on. You turn it on?
Yeah.
Are we, as she's turning it on, I go, are we sure we want to do the
Why not?
Yeah, why not? As I pull out a numbered dagger.
I just
Start rifling through my pockets, and you see me pull out like one of those pill a day cases. I'm just like, okay.
Okay. As the water rushes through, it begins to trickle onto the trees, and they shake violently, angrily. The branches begin to kind of loosen as they fling their limbs about, the leaves and pines flying off in all directions, and the faces become more and more animated. And
I break the statue.
You break it? Okay.
I lift it up and slam it into the wall.
Okay. It hits. It breaks.
that was a waste.
The people are half transformed
I've seen
and
this
are
movie. It's a bad
screaming.
movie.
Ah, why?
Why would you do that? Now we have to kill them.
They are
They were
all
transforming into monsters.
They're transforming back into people.
they've all turned to you, and they are trying to dig their roots out and come after you.
Do they look like they were turning back into people? Or
They look like they're turning back into people, but that in between
from your description,
metamorphosis.
it sounded like they were transforming into, tree monsters.
Well, I mean, it's that middle area between tree and human. Yeah, tree monster. Definitely hitting that mark. But you've stopped it right at peak tree monster.
Oh my god.
Now.
Maybe Ivy would like them better this way. It seems like they're suffering more.
They are. They are screaming. They are trying to unroot themselves. What do you do?
Can we just light them all on fire and be done with this?
Well, now they're wet, so they're going to be very hard to light on fire.
Let's just
Well, why don't we here because the water's still coming out, right?
The water is coming out, yes.
So I'll start splashing them.
Be human again. Be human.
That's all they need. I mean, a little bit of drops that were coming through the pipes is enough to do it. So
A little dabble, do you?
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're filling in water, and it is having no effect.
geez, I'm sorry.
One of the trees unroots itself. Its feet are fused together, but the roots are kind of scriggling and crawling across the floor as it lunges at you, Lynn.
Oh my god. I'm gonna try to dodge it.
Okay, give me that dodge.
Fail.
Fail. The tree, the limbs are closer to wet vines or wet whips almost, as you can feel them slithering around you, and the tips are clawing at your skin. So you're going to take 1 point of damage as one of them wraps you up. Others are trying to break free. What are you all going to do?
Question about the room.
Sure.
Does the door leading back out have a knob on the inside?
It does not have a knob on the inside.
Good note. Good note. Okay, good to know. I would like to make my way towards the door and try to get everyone to follow me.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's my plan. I'm gonna basically try to flip and kick my way through the hedge of trees to get to the door.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. Yeah, that totally works. That's beautiful.
Can tell by that
so,
face.
That was so many successes. Guys, it was great. So moving on. No need to, settle what happened here.
Okay.
Watch out for that.
Oh.
So yeah, you are flipping and somersaulting around, trying to dodge the trees, and 3 of them just fall towards you and are trying to grab you and pull you in different directions.
Cute.
RX, what are you doing?
Okay. Well, he produces a vial from Cat. Get down. Sorry.
I love that pharmacy. Cat, get down.
Office, and I'm very much in it. So he's making his presence known. Anyway, that doesn't have any bearing on the game. Or does it? he takes a vial from the pill a day thing and pops it open and slips it under his tongue. There's like a beat or two. And his eyes get very, very wide. And he actually does the level 1 growth power. So I am now about 12 feet tall.
Okay, you're going to have to bend over.
Yeah. And basically I just do my best to push some of the trees away. Well, that's a bunch of actions. But anyway, I'm growing and I'm like, I'm going to try to get them out of the way. So I'm taller now, so my voice is deeper.
Of course.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That's how it works. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Also, his clothes are really, really tight. Not like Hulk shredded, just real, like comically.
I get you. It's Gangster Hulk.
Yeah, exactly. Like Urkel, kind of.
Perfect. Okay.
Urk Hulk.
All right. So you go ahead and just give me an action to brush some trees away. Do you want to brush them off of Lynn or Dodger or just clear a path?
Just clear a path, really.
Okay.
No. I think I'm still trying to get the hang of my, newly sized body.
Of course.
So I'm just swinging wildly. Yeah, that's what I see going on.
All right. And Manticore.
I keep shouting, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, and I pick up the bottom half of the shattered statue, and I'm just using that as a club to clear the way.
Okay. You pick up the bottom half of the statue, and you see it comes apart pretty easily. You do see that the jar that it was being poured through is still intact. Just the arms are broken off.
Yeah, maybe we can just reattach it. I say maybe we can just reattach it.
I'm going to take the jar part and I'm going to put it like I'm the statue and like direct it at some of these trees.
Okay.
So I get a stream of this magic water coming through for them.
Perfect. Okay, so the rest of you are trying to fight it off. Manticore picks up the vase and holds it up, taking the place of the statue. The water begins to pour through it again. The trees release you all as their limbs begin to shorten and come in, and all the branches become fingers and hands, and they're humans again, and they're screaming in pain, and the transformation has left a lot of them in like a weird vegetative state, but many of them are like trying to get to their feet. They're like, I can feel, ow, and are trying to get up and run.
Ironically, turning it back into humans might be pissing her off more than anything else. And then I look at RX and be like, aren't you a grower?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh. Mwah.
I'm blushing over here. I'm gonna try and maybe just grab one of them, the one that seems less like he's useless, and pick him up and say, "What do you know about Falcone?"
I don't know, man. He's a gangster. What do you want?
Why are you here in Falcone's warehouse if you're Ivy's victim?
I don't know, man. I don't make the rules. I got turned into a fucking tree. What do I know?
I love that exchange. Thank you, Mason.
No
Thank
problem. That's what I'm here for.
you. I look to the team like, I got nothing.
Snap.
Drop it.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah. Dodger's still going to head to the door because as far as he sees, this is Ivy's problem. This is Ivy's property. I don't want anything to do with it. So my plan is get out, hopefully get the rest of us out before they get out, and lock them in.
Okay. You're not going to be able to get out before they get out because there's more of them closer to the door than there are for you. And you now have like a mass of bodies trying to rush out of this tiny exit. This is going to be disadvantage to get past them to the doorway, and disadvantage to close said door as you have this throng of people trying to escape.
Wait.
No. I believe you mean they're all trying to disembark.
God damn it. I did mean that. Thank you, Nick. That one guy that's been turned back into human. Nice.
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 All right, let's see how this goes. I mean, the worst case scenario is if I fail, then we have to deal with Ivy, and that's fine. Yep. So I failed. So that's cute.
Okay.
You can't turn me into a tree. I don't think. It only works on men, right?
I'm like, wait, this effect lasts longer than I think I needed to in this moment, and I don't think I can get through the door. Let me see if I can hold them off while you get out.
Oh dear, you do you.
So you're just trying to scoop up a bunch of people and push them out of the way of the door?
Yep, that's exactly what I'm trying to do.
Okay. Sounds good. Go ahead and roll that beautiful bean footage. Give me that test. And I'll give you advantage on that since you're now big.
Thank you.
You're a biggin.
Big. 2 successes. There we go.
Nice. Your giant arms reach out and just you manage to get a bunch of them scooped up and pushed out of the way, clearing a path for everyone else to exit if you so chose. So, Manticore, Lynn, did you guys want to?
I'll just poof in and out.
Okay, you poof away.
Yep.
Okay.
So we're just gonna. Okay, I'll be holding the thing. I'll just sort of like walk towards the exit.
You still holding it, or are you gonna put it down?
No, I'm still holding it.
Okay, the two of you are able to get out the door. Dodge, you dust yourself off from whatever happened. No one noticed, of course. No one saw. Are you going to take off after him as well?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You all manage to get up to the door. Do you guys pull it shut?
That's my plan.
Well, you're right, but RX is still
Let's
there.
go.
RX can't get out unless he... and it has an hour-long effect.
I'll say like, well, we can always hold them off here, and I pull out my gun and just point at the person closest to the door.
Listen, we don't want to hurt you, but just stand back. Everyone, be cool.
Okay, so normally this would be at disadvantage because
Birch,
these people...
be cool.
Yes!
Oh my god!
Thank you, Nick. If I could give you inspiration, I would. You know, I'm going to give you advantage on this roll.
Woo!
Because Lynn has got a gun, so she's backing you up. These people are terrified. You have 3d6.
All right.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
1 success.
That's all you need. They all stop struggling and clawing at RX. He's got tiny little scratches all over his bodies, but they stop. You're going to let us out, right?
We're going to figure this all out, but everyone needs to sit down and be cool. Just get used to your own skin again. And
I miss my family. I want to go home. Let me go home, man.
Just a little while longer. If at a little bit of time isn't going to make a difference. An hour is not going to make any difference.
Are any of you goons?
2 of them raise their hands in the back. I'm a goon.
Do you want a job?
I mean, not right now, but like talk to me in a week and maybe we can work something out.
RX is scanning the group for the one who smiled and broke his mouth. That's great information.
You spot him and you see there are still cuts there, but most of the wound has mended thanks to the water of the Lazarus.
Oh, that's how we got those scars.
Oh my god. Oh, all right.
Oh man, I've missed this table. So they are going to hold. A lot of them are very sketch because they really want to get out of here before Poison Ivy gets back or shows up, because they just now are no longer trees. So that's great.
So what's the rush?
I've been here 6 months as a tree.
How do they take care of you as a tree? There's no sunlight down here.
I know.
So you're just slowly dying as a tree.
Yes.
Oh,
And her
that is devilish. I appreciate it.
and her serum doesn't let you die. It helps things
really?
grow and live, and I just wanted to die.
So
That's really
he's
brilliant.
the one who put you down here, correct?
Yes, Poison Ivy put me down here. Michael, what was it you said?
Oh,
It's actually a really brilliant chemical formula if you read the white paper.
A lot of them are getting real agitated.
Hey. I bet you guys are real hungry, right? Right? Dodger, can you like go to Subway and get some sandwiches or something?
That's a lot of sandwiches.
Yes, I can absolutely get sandwiches.
I mean, if you got Postmates, you could just have it delivered.
Oh my god! I'm not paying for that.
We really.
Apps. This is a burner phone.
Listen. Look, we don't know what happened here. We don't know what's going on. We don't want to hurt any of you. If you've got like valuable skills, let us know. But we do want to make sure that everything's going to be cool, and just work with me here, guys. It's another couple minutes isn't going to make a big deal.
Yeah.
And come on, aren't you hungry?
None of you have money for food at this level.
Yeah, but they don't know that.
Yeah. Just letting y'all know. Okay.
We're also criminals.
I'm sorry.
True. No, Ivy hasn't been here in 6 months.
Oh. Well, then a little bit more time won't affect you at all, will it?
I don't know when she'll show up again. I don't want to be a tree, man. I don't want to be a tree.
Oh, there are far worse tortures, let me assure you.
Oh, yeah? Why don't you be a tree for a little bit? Let's see how you feel about it. People making tree jokes around you. Oh, like it's a laughing matter.
Wait. People making jokes. Who else has been down here?
And he gestured wildly to you four.
Well, we've only been here for like 10 minutes. Like, who else has been making
and
jokes?
And it hurt my feelings the entire time.
All right. Okay. Everyone in here with superpowers, raise your hand. And I raised one hand.
I used to turn into a tree. I can't anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Everyone who doesn't have superpowers, go to that end of the room.
Everyone goes to that end of the room.
I'm pointing away from the door, and just give us a couple minutes.
Okay. All of them go.
Okay. What the fuck?
So do we close the door?
I think we should just let them go. I think people should have their freedom respected after all.
This is very much going against your thing, Lynn.
That's fine by me. I don't want to take care of these. I don't want to take care of these guys. I don't want to be part of this. And look, if Ivy comes back, we can tell her that Falcone did it. This was his place, and we took it from him.
Exactly.
Really? You want to let these people go?
Look,
bank lenders and landlords.
I don't like landlords either, but maybe we can just kneecap those ones and like do an exit form survey and then let them go. I mean, they should have their freedom anyways. And I volunteer to speak to her if she comes back.
I'm going to remember you said that.
You're welcome.
Look, the ones who deserve it, we can take care of or hold for ransom or do whatever. I don't know. But the guy who hit on her, just let him go. Do you really want to do mass slaughter here?
I mean, it depends on how he hits on her, but yes, I think we should just let them go in general.
Guy with the steak sandwich, that's just petty.
I mean, it's how he tells it.
You notice that RX is starting to get just the tiniest bit wobbly, but he catches himself on the wall.
Hang in there, dear. I hear it takes a while to come down.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay, so bring them up one at a time. Ask them what they did.
Very well. I'll speak to them. And
Let the ones that are cool go.
Yes, sounds good to me.
All right. As long
Mason,
as you're willing to speak to Ivy.
sorry, relatively important question here. When they transformed back into people,
Mm-hmm.
are they clothed? We're looking at a room of naked dudes. Sorry, just occurred to me.
They are naked, folks.
That was my assumption.
Yep.
Nice.
Men and
Sure.
women. Yes.
Oh, women too. I thought it was only guys. Okay.
You just ask feed people. Arnold
So-
can be a girl's name.
RX will stay down here and block the door while you're taking people one by one up the stairs.
I'll ask them what they did, basically, every time.
Okay, what are your criteria for incarceration?
If there's someone like a landlord or someone who,
Like
Is-
Twizzlers over, red vines, yeah.
I mean, yeah, like,
Well,
then I would
yes.
definitely, you know,
That's just
I'll
instant
tell them
death.
to go to, I'll say, hold off a minute, and then I'll, like, have someone else come up.
Okay.
If they don't like it, I'll just kneecap.
Okay.
So I like to imagine we've set up a panel, the three of us, looking not unlike the audition panel for American Idol.
That works.
Okay. Which one are you, Simon Cowell?
Oh, I think we know the answer to that.
Fair point. Fair point. All right. So you go through these people. There's about 60 of them total. The other 40 or 50 or so managed to get out in the chaos. But still holding back 60 people. Pretty impressive. As you go through, you find out that about 10 of them are kind of dirtbags, like real bad people. Some of them work for Falcone. Some of them are, what's the word I want to have? Predatory practices in their businesses.
Mhm.
What that entails, I'll leave up to you all. But yes, there are 10 people left.
So, can we just kill them?
I mean, I personally like the idea of just throwing them back in that room and letting Ivy turn them back to the trees. But, I mean, we have to give her something.
I mean, they've also, like, interacted with us. Like, if you're so scared of Ivy, we probably should just kill them.
There's a real skinny guy. He's got lots of tattoos on him. His hair is very loose, very scraggly. He pulls it all back. He's like, "Hey, guys, maybe you don't know who I am. I'm Tony Falcone." Eh?
I shoot him in the knee.
Ow! Damn it! That's fine. I expected that. It's okay. I'm Falcone's nephew.
I get to his level, like I like put the gun under his chin. I said, "Really? Tell me about Falcone."
That he would pay, or he would reward you greatly for bringing me back. Eh?
So what
What-
proof do you have? Like, what is
Oh,
it
hold on. Let
that
me
you-
get my wallet. And he reaches into his tuchus. Oh, sorry. It's in my other skin suit.
No, I mean more like, what can you offer us in exchange?
What do you all want? He's like holding on to his bleeding leg. Aren't you a
So,
doctor?
I actually do want to roll my educated roll to see, based on what I know about the Falcone family.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into like the forensic shows, and there was a great A&E series about the Falcones, so I know about the Falcones. I just want to see if this kid is like legit or is like one of those third removed cousins who, you know, they one of the only people they could get to interview.
Mm-hmm.
Roll 3d6. This guy doesn't ring a bell.
You just
Can I make some kind of an intuition check?
go for it.
No success.
Listen, you
I-
gotta believe me.
Oh dear, I want to believe you, but I want you to give me convincing arguments as why I should not blow your brains out right here. And I caress his cheek. Can I roll a charisma check? I have the charismatic trait.
Okay. I mean, it's kind of tricky because there's nothing he could produce that would convince you aside from his word, unless you were to get it vouched by someone else.
Well, I'm specifically asking him what he could just do for us in general. Like,
Okay.
can you give us a favor later, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. You want a favor? I can give you a favor. Whatever you want. You will be owed a gift by the Falcone family. This building, you said it's in my uncle's. You can have it. It's yours.
Oh, excellent. So
No
no
heat.
reprisals then.
No. You know, you return me back more or less in one piece, and we're all good.
Can I do like a sense motive?
Absolutely.
Would my charisma fall into that? My charismatic.
Your charisma would
Or-
not.
What?
Your charisma would not.
Okay. No success.
Yeah, you can't make heads or tails of this person. I mean, they could be lying. They could be telling the truth. The other one, Dodger?
I was going to try to do a read person. I want to see if I can get a feel for him.
Okay.
Let's see. Nope. Not a thing.
Dope.
It's almost like he grew up in a crime family and is very good at hiding his motives when he talks to people.
One could.
All right. So out you go then. If there's no objections, and I just like point toward the door with my pen.
Which
Wait,
could you?
Was again?
Huh?
Huh?
What did you say your name was again?
Tommy Falcone.
Okay.
That was just. Hopefully, I remembered what the name was.
Go ahead and repeat it.
Okay.
How's your dear?
Can you do something about the hole in my leg? I'm gonna bleed out in Gotham. I'm gonna get stuck by somebody. It's not gonna be pretty. I'm not gonna make it
There's
home.
the first aid kits, as long as they meet OSHA requirements. Is there not?
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna go get I'm gonna get some clothes off one of the guards.
Okay. All right. You strip one of the guards. There's turtleneck, of course, black with a leather jacket and black pants.
Is it black or a slightly darker black?
It's actually navy blue.
That's not black, Mason.
What? They told me it was as good as black.
Oh, what?
I don't know. This is Gotham. That's some bullshit. I don't believe that there are other colors.
Gray.
Yeah, there's gray. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I mean, can I patch him up with maybe RX directing me from afar?
Yeah.
I'm assuming that you're too big to be able to like efficiently.
Well, it's been like an hour, so you're starting to come down more or less.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that I'm struggling to stay awake, basically. But yes, I am starting to shrink a little bit. I prop myself up against the wall, and I'm like, okay, so here's what you want to do. There should be some alcohol wipes in there. I need you to rub them across the wound first, okay? We got to sterilize this as much as we possibly can.
Oh, pour alcohol into the wound. I like this. Go on.
That's what I said. That is not what I said.
I'm sorry. I wasn't listening.
Most industrial first aid usually have some sort of needle and thread. I feel like I know the answer to this. Can you sew? Okay. Think of
Yes.
it in your shoe. You're gonna put the needle in one side. You're gonna make sure it goes through the other side and pull it through, but tie a knot in the end. Otherwise, it's gonna be a really bad scene. And you do that until the wound is closed. Now, don't go too deep. That's the key. If you go too deep, you're gonna risk doing more damage.
So go ahead and give me that roll, Manticore.
this just a standard roll?
It's gonna be a standard roll because any advice he's giving you is very groggy, half coming in, half going out.
I got 1 success.
That's all you need.
So,
You patch it up. It's not good. He'll have a limp and he'll have a scar, but he'll survive. So he dresses. He's like, how can I reach you all to reward you? Just come back here?
Seems to make the most sense out of anything.
Okay.
Fair.
All right.
Who wants to give their cell phone out to this random person? Excellent. Just find us eventually, or we'll find you. Better yet. And she smiles.
She goes. The guy, he goes over to one of the bodies and digs through the pockets and pulls out a set of keys and starts limping off towards the garage where there would be parked cars around the building. Not even a garage, but like a parking area.
Should we just kill the others?
Listen, I just thought that, women don't deserve the same liberties as men. Is that so wrong?
The answer is yes.
I shoot him in the head.
Very good.
Anyone else have any useful thoughts?
The earth is flat.
Bang.
I got rights, okay?
Bang.
We have 6 now?
So again,
any other hot takes?
What's called all of them. Of course, you do know have predatory practices that, if allowed to leave, they will return to.
Oh, bugger. I reload and I just start shooting.
Yep. We're tossing daggers. We're having a whole moment.
Very good. It's you hear the swelling of classical music as you're gunning them down. It's great. So.
Oh, I don't know why I came here tonight.
Oh, it's so fun.
We're just not going with Carmina Burana.
See, I went the other way. I was thinking something like, "What the world needs now."
Like that.
Is blood, more
Sweet
blood.
You thought you were getting away
It's
from the vampire
just
game.
a bunch of douchebags that we're all happy to be rid of.
And now I'm thinking the buzz talks. Everybody's happy nowadays.
All right, so you've gotten rid of a lot of the scum. Are you going to throw them out in the ocean, in the river, or not the river, the docks, or are you going to leave them down here?
Leave him down there.
I think we got to toss them in the harbor.
Yeah, that's fair. Because this is our place now. We don't want rotting corpses down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should probably also toss the goons that didn't quite cut the mustard.
Okay.
I don't know where that phrase came from. Just
fine.
toss them off the pier.
I'll take anything useful out of their pockets though, like if they have other keys and other things.
Yeah, you find 3 sets of keys to 3 separate vehicles, all rundown junkers without plates or VIN numbers, but cars nonetheless.
Do we find 4 headset communicators?
You do find 4 headset communicators.
Well, that solves that problem.
We have to use these, really.
Well, if we need to.
All right, so I'll just put it in my pocket.
Now, there were a few that were knocked out. What do you do with those?
I'll shoot them in the
Goons?
head.
Okay.
Not so many jacks.
I mean, I was going to kill them when they were conscious, so skin off my nose.
All right, you finish whacking off the goons, and they are out into the
No.
No?
We just killed them.
All right, you beat off the goons, and then you get out of there safely. No? Is that wrong? Okay. All right, you pump their life juices, and you're good.
I mean, how hot are these?
I don't know. They're Gotham 7, so that's like a step below Killer Croc.
Yeah, I'll just shoot them.
Yeah.
All right, you murder-side the goons. They're good and dead. Thrown in the water. They're down the river. You've looted their bodies. You have several guns, SMGs, and ammunition, And a few grenades, too. And
Nice.
2 dogs. It's a pretty
And
decent haul.
any cash?
Cash. Yeah, actually, you do have a bit of cash. Not a lot, but you got a little bit of spending money. We'll say $1,000.
Okay.
Or
You know,
total.
Now that
Total
you mention it,
$1,000.
I could go for a Subway sandwich.
$5 foot long.
8-foot-long meatballs, sun chips, and a large Dr. Pepper.
All right, Dodger, you are fast at running. Do you want to get those for us?
Yeah, I guess I'll go.
You can literally teleport there.
Which doesn't occur to Dodge until he's halfway there.
Son of a...
Yeah. It's a flashback to her like teleporting up to the roof and not killing that one guy.
Right.
Son of a.
So you did have a very bloody evening. So you are covered in a bit of blood. You know, you've wiped most of it off, and you placed in your order at the Subway. The dead-eyed cashiers don't care.
Gotham.
Right.
It's a Gotham Subway. I
Gotham,
don't think
am I
this is
right?
the worst thing they've seen today.
It's marinara sauce.
Yeah, we don't care.
Okay.
It's Subway.
Buddy, I used to work for the Condiment King. Get out of here.
He wasn't as bad as Calendar Man. He'd always remember your birthday, though. So you get back with the subs. Everyone is just kind of sitting there.
Oh, God. Calendar Man's the worst. He's arguing about all the coupons.
As you all are relaxing and sort of decompressing from the night, in walks Anarch. So, how did it go?
How did it go for you?
Well, I'm here, and the bat's not, so gave him the slip.
Huh.
Didn't have too
Well,
much trouble
we're
here, did you?
and Falcone's not.
Good to hear. So, we need to start planning out our next move. Why don't you all grab some bunks? I brought them in the back of the van. Set them up wherever you'd like.
To sleep here, after all.
You want to go back to the apartment?
It's a little bit more comfortable.
It's impossible because it's also on fire. Sorry.
She is
Hey,
fine.
Mike.
Very well.
Okay, don't be mad, but the computer was there?
Oh, yeah, that's what set the fire. It was set to blow. It's a good thing you didn't bring it with you. Oh, boy, that would have been bad.
Happy birthday.
No.
Should we all sing happy birthday?
It's not for like a month, guys. I was just...
It's your birthday. I didn't know that. God, Calendar Man, he would have reminded me.
Happy
Birthday
birthday.
to you.
Mouthful of sub.
Is that the button?
That is the button. That's where we're going to end tonight's show. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back next week to see what the Shades of Gotham get up to. Let's go around the table. Where can people get more of each and every one of you? Let's start with Manticore.
Hey, everyone. My name is Nick Levy. I'm currently on this show, so you probably already realized that. But if you want to follow me online on Twitter, I'm at Sungrowler, and sometimes I'm complaining, and sometimes I'm political, and sometimes I'm actually funny. So if that's your cup of tea, hey, you might enjoy it. If not, no skin off my nose.
Nice. Michael, where can they get more of you?
Hi, I'm Michael Robert Holmes. I'm one of the regulars on the Games We Never Play podcast. I think I'm still GMing our November content as of this afternoon. You'll have to tune in for the explanation. I also co-host our weekly gaming news roundup on YouTube, which is Table Topical. That is dropping on Wednesdays now. And
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays. Sorry. Thank you. What even is time anymore in 2020? I don't know. But if you want to just interact with me on a interpersonal level, you can find me on Instagram at Michael R. Holmes and on Twitter at MRH_3E.
Perfect. Joey, where can they get more of you, sir?
Hey guys, I'm Joey. You can find me on Twitter at Joey Nestra. That's the name. You can also find me on the interwebs at Happy Jacks RPG Podcast every other Sunday. Not this Sunday, but the next Sunday, as we are winding down our Vampire 5e game, The Glittering Night, where I get to play a Toreador who is an LA fuckboy and gets to enjoy everything that entails. Also, we had our Session 0 last Saturday. In the next subsequent Saturdays, we will be playing the game of the Star Wars variety called Silence in the Force. I didn't have to check my notes. Silence in the Force, which is a hack of the Demigods game written by Jason Mills on his Twitch channel. It's probably okay. That'll be every Saturday at 10 a.m. on his Twitch channel. And then I'm here.
Just one notice, as I seem to recall, next week you're at 11.
That is correct. Bless you. You are correct. We are at 11 next week, and I believe the following week we are taking off because of scheduling conflicts. So keep an eye on my socials. I will keep you up to date on when things are happening. So yeah.
Great. Nikki, we're going to name more of you.
They can find me on Twitter at Nikki Waln. And I, right now, usually post a lot of political stuff, but I also post some video game reviews as I write for GameCritics.com. So stay tuned for more reviews as well as more Shades of Gotham.
Wonderful. Now, this game, along with any others, is going to need dice. And so you're going to want to go to diceenvy.com/GWNP to get yourself some dice. If you use the code GWNP at checkout, you get 10% off your first order. They have a new Frost set that just released. You're going to want to check that out as soon as possible. Again, I appreciate you all tuning in and just hanging out with us. You didn't have to sub. Some of you that did, thank you. Thank you all for subbing. I really, really appreciate it. There's so many great people in our chat, and we look forward to doing a lot more great shows with you all. I've been GM Mace. You can find me online, GM_Mace like the weapon. And be sure to tune in Mondays for our podcast. We're playing Kids on Brooms. I think we're doing the review show next week, and then we're off to something gothically horrible. You all take care, and I will see you next week. Bye!